Here we are. This is the second decider in the qualifier. Normally I say in a long qualifier, but it's actually been pretty short. This is the fourth round, and the winner here will move into the Hidden Cup 5 main event, which is February 25th through March 3rd. And the players in the main event will not be known for their names. They will be given a hero, a historical figure to play as, and that means they can't prepare for a specific opponent. And they also, we of course don't know who is who, and it adds to the fun. But Sobek here, he is the underdog in this one. Sitaux is the bigger name. Sitaux has accomplished a lot over the past year or two. But Sobek has slowly and quietly had a really good year too as well. He's been around a long time. And he's also no stranger to being the underdog, Margugu. He was the underdog against Miguel in round 2. And he was the underdog against Valis in round 3. So he's the underdog again. And Sitaux is going to try and steal his boar. Ooh.
That's not good for Sitaux, right? Because the eagle is slower than the scout. So it means that Sobek will be able to defend this pretty easily.
Yeah.
And maybe he will try to even kill the eagle.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you get, like, my thinking here is you just get in front of the eagle here. But he's attacking.
Yeah, sure.
What would you do here, you think?
Well, depend. If you're because maybe Sobek is a bit shaky right now.
Okay.
So if you are shaky, you just like click on the eagle and try to block the bow.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to have a lot of confidence for the next round, you just try to go in front of the eagle. And look at Sitaux. He's trying to hit and run. And I think that's way too greedy from Sitaux. Sitaux should just run and try to survive now. He's going to lose the eagle. And I think that's a good start for Sobek.
Well, maybe. Maybe he does. Sobek is still staying with him. But you are right. I mean, this is just, he's going to take 2 more hits before he ends up losing this. And the boar's going to go back. And that is a really good start here for Sobek. And before I let you say anything more about this, Margugu, you just said, and maybe people later on YouTube will miss it, that, like, this could be a bad matchup, potentially, for Sobek, because Sitaux can be so aggressive. I do feel like, with Sitaux, you have a lot of faith in your abilities. You know how good a player you are. I think it can affect you mentally if you come out here, you fail a lame, you lose the first game or something like that, right? So this game is important for Sobek. If he could continue to find some positive moments, maybe Sitaux will underperform a little bit if game 1 is a bit shaky for him.
I think Dave asked me, like, is Sitaux nervous? Like, for example, he almost lost to Lix.
Yep.
Lix is so good, but it was like second round, right?
Yep.
So when you were Sitaux, nobody is expecting you to lose to Lix, right? And he was so close from getting eliminated.
Yeah.
And Dave was like, you know Margot better than everyone on the... You know Sitaux better than everyone on the scene, basically. Like, do you think Sitaux is nervous? And I was like, for me, Sitaux is the guy acting cool. Like, no pressure, it's fine. I never get pressured, but I think if he loses the first game... Oh, what?
Maybe there's an issue here? But it's weird that Sitaux wouldn't be able to pause. But you continue your point. We have admins if they need help. I think you can continue your point, and they'll probably unpause here in a second.
Okay, so I was setting, I think Sitaux is pretending to not be nervous, to have zero pressure.
Yeah.
But I think if he's losing the first game, he can be super shaky, actually.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, you see the pressure, too, so we would be able to pick up on that. Now, we haven't talked about the civs at all. And again, if there's any issues, I'll have someone let us know, and we can look at things. I don't think there's any map bugs or anything, so it should be fine. But this is the exact same matchup we actually had in the first series, Margugu, between Mihai and between Vinchester. And even though Vinchester won that game, I think Vinchester won because he just played like an animal. Like, I don't know how he took some of those fights. So I really do like Sitaux's Civilization. I think Incas they're at least easy in my top 5 for Arabia these days, maybe even higher. So Tatars will be a little bit tricky, potentially.
On closed Arabia, let's say not super open, only one Forest Arabia, I would rank them maybe first, actually.
Okay.
Incas are super insane. Like, I think Mia even picked them like first.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason Mia lost is that, as you said, Vinch played like an animal, he played all in, thing like that. But I think also Mia kind of threw this game a bit as well. He was super ahead and he didn't defend the best way, maybe panicked a bit. But yeah, I favored so much Incas in this matchup. Like, Incas is so good. Tatas is not bad, but it's like, how do you defend versus a spam of eagles? And even late games, if there is no gold on the map, like Inca can just go like half skirms, and it's super annoying and super strong as well.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think Incas is way better than Tatars, but I didn't check the draft yet, but I think Incas was pretty early picked
Yes,
in
it
the
would
draft.
be an early pick. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
while Tatars was potentially like a late pick. So maybe Sobek is thinking like, okay, on Arabia should be the best map of Sitaux probably, and if Sobek did some preparation, you don't need to prepare Arabia, you play it like all the time. So maybe he thinks like, okay, I will not prioritize Arabia for my safe pick, and maybe I will go for like a good saves but not the best one, and
Sure.
he will try his best to win it. So
Yeah. And that's I think a good logic. Like if you look
Yeah.
at the map pool, oh, this eagle could actually be found again. If you look at the map pool and you know Sitau's strength, I think Sobek should be realistic with himself and know that he is not going to be the favorite on Arabia against Sitaux. So I think maps like Cross, maybe a map like Quarry, maybe a map like Mudflow, Islands, those are going to be the ones Sobek needs to get a win on today. And Sobek with a nice build here. And he'll be going most likely for scouts behind this. I should mention this, though. This is a really important thing. Something that makes any militia play, or even like any play in early feudal, so strong with the Incas or the Mayans or the Aztecs is the eagle. So the fact that the eagle is weak here really does slow down any potential attack here for Sitaux, I'd say.
yeah, basically if you like damage a lot the eagle, you know that in theory the eagle player shouldn't go for militias in Dark Age, because then you use the eagle to block unit, to block vills, to maybe kill some vills as well. And if the eagle is weak, he's almost useless, right? So I think that's good for Sobek, because as I said, I think Sobek needs to get the control over the map, to get the control over the situation, and he just ate a huge hit of the spear. That's not
Yikes.
bueno.
Yeah, that hurts. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then the eagle's healing in the TC, which is so funny. Scouts can't do that. So, man, these sheep. Sobek, okay, finally finds them. That's actually a really nice find with Tatars.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for scouts for now. But, first game, this version of Arabia is not the most open version I've ever seen. Look at Sitaux pushing a deer with spearmen. But I think we're going to see walls. First game of the series, really, could be shaky for them. I don't know about you, Margugu. You might be the opposite, but you know me, dude. First game in a series, I'm walling like crazy, dude. I don't want anyone killing my villagers. So I think we might see a similar thing here. That seems to be Sitau's angle anyways.
Yeah, everyone wants to play safe. Actually, my mistake most of the first game is like, I want to take the control over the game to be confident.
Yeah.
And then I go over aggressive. I lose everything. Like I lose all my militias under OTC, for example. And I'm like, fuck me. Why did I do that? Why don't I just chill off,
Well, for me, I'm walling the map because I'm playing safe, and then there's two tiles I don't wall, and then players like you get into my base, and then you kill 4 villagers, and I'm saying the same thing for a different reason.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny because when we played in a tournament this past year, you 3-0'd me, and it was very painful. So the pain is all very real for me, Margugu.
I can feel the pain too on this qualifier, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's the revenge, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Ozone took the revenge for you in NAC too. I know you are close to Ozone, so he took the revenge for you.
Well, walls are up here for Sitaux. I gotta say though, he produced a lot of army. And this is maybe new meta for Incas right now because of that food discount they have on their, any military unit that costs food. We're seeing a lot of additional spears and skirms. And so that's what he's doing. We don't have full walls yet for Sobek, but honestly, if he just walls a little bit more, his resources should be protected. I'm not really sure how much damage this army from Sitaux is going to do right now.
Yeah, I think Sitaux know that he won't be able to make any damage, because at this point, at 14 minutes in this game, Sobek might be fully walled, and that's the case. But I think he's thinking, like, as you said, the discount of the units, so the more units you produce, the better it is for your saves, right?
Yep.
So he's thinking, if I don't make any damage, but I force Sobek investing some skirms as well, then it should be good for me, because after that I just can abuse the market, go Eagle, go all in, things like that, and then you just wasted your skirm and mine were cheaper. I think that's why he's like not scary of producing too much army, not scared of overproducing them.
Well, there is something to point out here, and this comes back to the Eagle at the very start. Like right now, Sitaux doesn't really have a lot of scouting. And so he doesn't know his opponent's on Skirm. Now, he did see the Blacksmith, so that could maybe tell him that there's going to be Skirm coming out here. But Sobek has fletching, and he moves out. And this kind of maybe surprises Sitaux a little bit. If these Spearmen are killed off here, those Scouts will kill every single Skirmisher. So Sitaux needs to micro right now.
Yeah, and Sitaux doesn't have even a Blacksmith, so he won't have fletching for a long time. But he's still doing skirms. That's weird. Like, I could see him going for a market, abuse market, try to go up now, but adding skirms is maybe a bit weird, right?
Yeah.
Because if you add them, just go for the +1. Like adding skirm, not upgrading them is a bit weird.
You know what is coming back to my mind right now is Sobek is going to take some really nice fight. Look at the patience from Sobek. We said at game 1, it's like you can sometimes feel like if you're the underdog, you need to do too much. But Sobek playing very calm, but you know, Sitaux's play is reminding me of the King of the Desert series between him and MBL. MBL made a ton of spears, a ton of skirms, and lamed all the time. And so Sitaux's like, that worked against me. Let's try that here on Arabia.
And he destroyed Sitaux, I believe it was like a 4-0.
Yeah, it was.
While Sitaux win 3-0 against Leary, so that was super insane actually from MBL.
Yeah, I don't know why that came back to my mind, but God, Sobek is wrecking him right now. And
yeah,
the army behind this is simply going to be skirms for Sitaux. So a great start for Sobek. Now, Incas still have so many other bonuses to work with, but you talk about needing some confidence here. This would make me feel very good if I were Sobek right now.
Oh, and another pause is coming, but I think Sobek played really good until there, but he maybe missed a bit his timing on the gold transition. He maybe will need a market.
Yeah, true. He was late to
actually
gold.
the pause, if Sitaux pause, that's maybe good for Sobek, because then he will be like, okay, what's my next move? Oh, I have too many wood, not enough gold. Okay, I will rush a market.
Yeah,
and maybe without the pause, he wouldn't see that. So that's maybe cool.
The first time Sitaux paused, he said there was a hotkey issue. We are playing on a new patch now. This patch was
true.
So I assume he would have played a game or two on the patch, right, to test it. Now, maybe he didn't. Maybe he had faith and I said the patch was good, and it is. I personally had no hotkey changes when I worked into the new patch, so there's been one tiny little bit of feedback about the new patch, which is with stand ground units, occasionally you need to just fight it slightly differently, but there's been no issues with hotkeys, so I'm hoping... I assume that's what this pause is happening. I'm hoping this isn't a continuous issue here.
And I mean, the new patch cannot be worse than the previous one anyway, so just go for it, guys. Let's go.
Dude, new patch cannot be worse. Dude, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. I was like, they came to me. Sitaux says, again, hotkeys. It was working before. And okay, well, it's fine. Hopefully it's not an issue, but they came to me and they were like, hey, like we spent a lot of time working on this. We recognize this is an issue. Like they did communicate very nicely, which was really good, right? And they're like, would you want to try this patch? And let us know if you want to use it for the main event. And I was tempted before even testing it. I was just like, let's do it.
yeah, I can understand.
Yeah,
like,
but it's been amazing, so...
I know the type of people like always criticizing devs because I know that the code is super complex in AoE.
Yeah.
But I have to say that the latest one, the previous one, was very, very bad. And
yes.
It was.
Yeah.
And it was there for a long time too.
Yeah, that's the brutal part. Yeah. So I can't speak obviously for the normal game, right? For people who are playing games in and out, you know, playing against the AI on easy right now and want better pathing. I can't speak for that, but at least for Hidden Cup, we've got something here. We did see a full 6-game series in the previous set, and the unit regrouping is gone. Margugu, it's like super smooth, which means players are playing with ranged units again. So big moment here. Sitaux wants to move out, but again, it definitely does feel like while he's committing a lot to it and he's got 3 barracks, he's going to get to castle, and he's not really going to have a ton of army here. So it's a bit of an interesting spot.
Yeah, he didn't soul his stone though, so he might aiming to add some TC at one point, but he's producing on 3 barracks at the same time. I mean, Inca's Eagle are so cheap that I think you can do both. I can see like a second TC, fast monastery, and try to aim to take all the relics. Could be an idea for Sitaux.
Yeah. We are seeing the faster castle age for Sitaux pay off in some ways here, right? He's up. He gets the base attack on the Eagles. You really don't want to be fighting with scouts against Eagles. in this age, in feudal age, it would be fine. So Sobek backing away. It would feel very natural for Sobek to go for step Lancers behind this, and he does have 2 stables. So I could see Lancers being an option for him.
Lancers should be the option in my opinion, because versus range unit, Lancers are not that good, but versus melee units, they are insane, especially versus Eagles, right? Because let's say when you play Knight, the Knight has enough HP to close the gap between the Lancers and the Knight to hit at least once the Lancers. But the Eagle doesn't have that much HP, right? So all the Eagle might almost die before even touching the Lancers. So
what do you do then?
Would be an insanely good option.
Okay, so we are going to see Lancers. So it feels like Sitaux will play. Oh god, this is another pause here. This is maybe he needs to check his hotkey profile, make sure it didn't toggle into something else. I wish I could speak to him right now, but I have to assume this is because of another hotkey. Like maybe he wanted to get pikeman upgrade or make spears for the first time or something. But what do you do unit comp wise with the Incas? Obviously big boom here for Sitaux, but what should his approach be once he sees the Lancers?
I think you just want to play safe. Like you don't want to force fight, right? Because the fight won't be for you. You want to wait to have like a good amount of pike and monks potentially, and then maybe go for a forward castle. But that's because it's Sitaux playstyle, right? If it was Viper, it would do the same, but he would put the castle on his hill and go for fast eagle halb timing and try to kill it there, I would say.
Well, look at the resources on the front for Sitaux. He's got the gold and the stone. That's going to be an area he needs to lock down. And then on Sobek's side, he's got 2 golds and a stone in the same spot as well. Now, it's not as forward, but it's kind of in the same spot of the map. There's like a straight line between those areas. So I think castles in those areas could be really strong here. But again, folks, we just wait. I have no clue why there's a pause. I'm assuming right now that is because Sitaux said something about a hotkey. I think now at this point, he's probably like, okay, let's look at everything. Right? He's like, let's make sure this doesn't happen again. And so that's why we just have this delay here. But hoping once the hotkeys are sorted, everything should be pretty smooth.
At least everyone knows that it's live. That's the risk of the live, right?
Yeah, this is live, yeah. If you only had so much time, you should have wanted recorded games, yeah. Oh, man. People get really bent out of shape about it. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I feel like we've explained it, right? We've explained why this is happening. But someone says, why so many pauses? This is so boring and annoying. I'm sorry. We just say thanks, DE, and we wait. So, oh, man.
Even for Sobek, it has to be so annoying, right? Because Sobek is like fully focused in his game. I have to do that. And then you have a big pause. It's just like,
it's not fun. Yeah. I'm guessing like what I just said is probably true. Sitaux probably said, okay, another unit didn't have a hotkey. Let's test the other hotkey options. I still have not heard anything from an admin, so there's not much I can really do about it. So
yeah, just wait. That's annoying, but that's it.
Yeah, here's what it is. So let's talk comp. So we're gonna have Lancers, obviously. That would mean Incas would probably make like pikes, right?
Probably, yeah.
So pikes. And Robo is here. Robo says, FYI, this could be a bit longer because he's checking all hotkeys. Okay, so Sobek and Sitaux are just checking. Can you go like Cav Archer Lancer, or is that too expensive for Tatars?
I think in this matchup, you don't have choice if you are the Tatars, right? Because if you want to go like, let's say 3TC into Imp, Incas will have enough resources to go for halbs and Eagles beyond that. Maybe some monks remaining, he can upgrade them, and then his comp is pretty good because Eagles can kill your CA if you only play CA on Imp, and halbs can kill your cavalry. And because of the discount, he kinda can produce both.
Yeah.
While as Tatars, right, if you go 3TC into kinda fast Imp, we will have to choose. Do I go cavalry? Do I go CA? You have to choose. You don't have the economy for both.
Yeah.
I would say that the Tatars civilization need versus Incas to play a longer castle age, to have like a big economy to be able to play like CA Lancers or CA Hussar like did Vinch previously.
Yeah.
Like he needs a longer castle age than Incas for sure.
I think
So that's why I think he needs to go Lancers, and then when he sees that there is too much pike and potentially like redemption on monks that counters his Mongolian as well, he needs to transition to CA at this point.
Okay. Yeah. So it's all about the timing, right? Like,
yeah.
I think, you know, the average, I don't even know about the average player, because the average player is amazing these days. But a lot of beginners might just try and do it all too early, right? And if you do it too early, then you don't have the economy. So it's all about the proper build up towards it. But, you know, something I think would be really good. So Sobek says, let's talk admins in Discord. Sitaux says, should be all good now, can finally produce units. Sitaux seems a little annoyed by this.
Yeah, he is. That's for sure. I can tell you he's tilting me on his chair. He's like, you know, having his head moving a bit, being like, oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. Hopefully...
Like, he keeps it calm, but he's annoyed.
Yeah, so he's annoyed, as are, you know, no one's happy that we had the delays, but we're back in this. But I'd really like to see the third TC as he placed it on the wood. I would actually love to see the TC near the stone for Sobek. It protects the wood. It gives you the early castle, which could be super nice here too. So it's interesting.
And also you have a rule, kinda. It's like when you want to make a new TC, the best is to make the TC on a new resources, and he's doing his TC on a wood that is already being chopped, right?
Yep.
So that's not the best. So as you said, this TC between stone and wood was perfect.
Margugu, this hill is just the dream for the Tatars, where those step lancers are. You do more damage when on top of the hill. It's right next to stone and gold from the enemy, and these Tatars take the engagement. Now, some players are really going to micro their hearts out here. They go in, they turn around, they micro again. They go in, they turn around, they micro again. And that's kind of what Sobek's trying to do. A great job from Sitaux, though. He just has so many units, and he is not allowing his monks to be picked up by those scouts. So I think with the presence of the monks, Sitaux should be fine to advance out across the map.
Yeah, Sitaux should be fine. And Sitaux does have the lead a bit, economic lead as well. Yeah. So I think Sitaux is in a nice position in this game. But as we said, that's the time where Sobek is choosing to go to add range. Maybe a bit early, but after all, he has 25 on food already, right?
Yeah.
Like the best timing is that when you have enough food to produce on all your TC and some cavalry too, that's the moment where you want to go CA, right? Because if you wait for too long, then you're versus an Imperial player and you're dead. So I think that's a good momentum.
I think these Lancers can find some really good fights here, though. Like, you've got the Monk around. The Lancers should be able to hit and run a little bit. The TC fire. It is harder to micro the Lancers. And actually, Sitaux patrols right into it and gets in the middle, which is not how you want to engage at all with these Step Lancers.
Oh, man. This engage was very bad, actually. Under the TC even. And the TC has the +1, so... Yeah, that was not a good engagement for Sitaux.
Yeah, and in the end, the fight that Sobek wanted kind of happens. It actually was really messy from both of them there. I think both players have taken better fights, but in the end, the skirms are going to go down. And Sobek, the underdog, he is going to have a nice position in this game. His eco is looking really nice. His army comp is much better now because he has cav archers when it is primarily pikemen for Sitaux. And... like we said, this Sobek guy is super consistent and super solid. Sitaux is this player we think aggression. But any aggression that he sent forward has been kind of awkward. Hasn't done too much so far.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to go aggression versus Incas, right?
Yeah.
But I can tell you, if Sobek was French, he would have sent like 20 vills on stone right now, being like, oh, I want to fight. I want to snowball. Okay, let's put a castle in his face now.
Is that in the manual? Like when you're learning the game in French, does it have an extra page that talks about 20 on stone at 70 villagers?
I don't know, but I can tell you that all the French, as long as they win a fight, they're like, okay, time to snowball, easy game. And then you cross the map, you are in front of the NB base, and then there is a castle on the hill you wanted, and you're like, oh fuck. Okay, let's go fast imp. I drop my castle, I go fast imp behind.
I like how basically what you've just described, Margugu, is exactly how I envision you, though. It's like, how can I end the game now? How can I end the game now? It's not like, how can we get a slightly bigger advantage going into the later stages? Oh, man. That's funny. I mean, that hill is so valuable to Sitaux, and he's guarding it right now. But he hasn't gone to stone yet. So neither player has gone to stone, which is surprising to me.
And Sitaux is adding barracks. Sitaux wants the forward castle, probably.
Maybe.
Or at least he wants to make sure he has the big hill on the middle, because this hill, if Tatars has it, that's will be really annoying for him.
Well, this is why... But this is my thinking about current Incas. You don't need to take good fights. Their units are so cheap, and you can just spam them so quickly that you could just make more. That could be your logic.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's trying to do, but it is a really nice find from Sobek as he picks off some of the monks and still has lancers around. And I don't know if the siege is going to be all that helpful here for Sitaux either. And again, fight awkward, but doable right now for Sobek, who's showing everybody that he can play Arabia too.
Yeah. I think Sobek needs to go for Ballistic now. He has the University, and Ballistic would add so much value to this army, actually.
Yeah.
So he can punish the pike going back. That would be insane.
Yeah, he's hitting and running. Keep in mind, we've got Chile versus France here, so it's going to be a bit higher ping than what we had saw in the previous series. But the Lancers pay off and snipe the siege. Not bad. But still, it's like every time there's a fight for Sobek that he actually micros well, there's just another army coming from Sitaux.
Yeah. It's like the Gulf spam, but on Castle Age. And even Mongonel crossing the map. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
And
I love
actually,
the Siege Workshop position, though, from Sitaux here, Margugu, because it makes it... Now, even if Sobek wins a fight, he doesn't ever want to be around that Siege Workshop. He always has to be so cautious there.
Yeah, he cannot push back, and I'm a bit worried for Sobek because he doesn't have stone yet, and actually a castle on his hill would be insane. On the hill next to the university, actually.
I do think though, like he has ballistics on thumb ring cav archers. He's gonna have light cav with occasional lancers. Like, I do think this fight actually could be better for him. He's killed quite a few monks. He killed that one mangonel. If the monks and mangonels were still there for Sitaux, it might be different, but this has all been gearing up towards a really big engagement. And here we go. The light cav are going to loop around here for Sobek. The cav archer's back up. He will be pushed off the stone, but the light cav can swoop in. And Sitaux, he attack rounds but misses. He will lose a lot of his siege. He's losing a lot of his units. This could be amazing for Sobek.
That's amazing for Sobek. Sobek is clearing everything, and I mean, Sobek, if he stopped producing for like a sec or two, can go imp so fast too. So I think Sobek is in a good position. And as I said, Tatars needs to have a longer castle age to be able to develop his economy, and that's what's happening actually. 35s on food is enough to go like CA and Hussar early imp kinda. So I think Sobek position is pretty good, and even the score actually. When you are in Sitau's position, like you are the favorite first game,
you want that high score. Yep.
You want that high score.
Like if you take, you're right. If you take that, if you take a bad fight, and then the score still looks good for you, you're maybe not feeling too bad. But right now, as Sobek does this, if you have the lower score, you're maybe feeling like, am I losing this? And Sobek is going to clear this, but we've got a castle on the hill from Sitaux. If that gets spotted, this is going to be denied. This could be brutal for the favorite.
Daddy Doubt is in the house, I think.
Doubt is in the house. Doubt is in the house. Sobek's cav archer's still getting kills. There's not many villagers here. No! Oh, Sitaux! More vills are on the way here, Margugu. This is brutal.
Oh, that's a disaster. No, Sitaux needs to go back. He cannot commit on it. If he commits on it, that's over.
Look at this micro. Like, Sobek is distracting the pikes. He's pulling them around. He's killed so much siege. You're right. This castle's not going to go up. It's a doubt castle.
Oh, no. Oh, Sitaux is going back, but as we said, he lost the hill. And losing this hill versus the Tatars is trouble, right?
And I think Sobek knows exactly what to do now. He might bring his own villagers forward, drop a castle on that hill himself, and this one will go up. And man, this qualifier, which has been so insane with the amount of upsets and the amount of big names that have gone down, it's looking pretty spicy here for this decider, Margugu, because Sitaux is going to have to really battle back to win this first game now.
Okay, now Sobek needs to stop producing any army. He has enough. He needs to go up now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he has to think in his position like, wait, I won the fight. Maybe because I microed better, maybe because I have the better army comp, but also maybe because my opponent went imp and couldn't afford that much unit as me because he invested into the Imperial Age. So he needs to go up.
I also think once this castle's up, he should start to use his mobility to look to the sides, right? There's a lot of exposed areas for Sitaux on the sides, and it's very obvious he can kill everything there. But honestly, at the same time, he's taking such good fights on the front. It's like, why even look anywhere else if you're going to continue to just wreck Sitaux every time he shows up here?
we talked about Sitau's stone position, but actually that's a disaster for Sitaux.
Yeah, really is. Well, it was the same, right? The stone was forward as well for Sobek, right?
Yeah.
He did expand on the right side, but they both had very forward stones and golds. And oh man, Sitaux, I mean, he's got a quick wall now, but the step lancers don't care about quick walls, and more villagers are exposed. Oh man, this is so bad for him.
Yeah, that's a really bad one. And look at the CA on the right! He found all the wood line from Sitaux. Oh, that's a disaster. Oh, the vil difference is huge now.
Yeah, Vil difference is huge. You'll make it to Imp. You won't have many resources right now if you're Sitaux. And Sobek is sick of being called the underdog, Margugu. He's just downright sick of it. And I'm amazed at how clean he's played here. Now, obviously, we had a bit of an awkward start to this series. Maybe that played some roles, but it just felt like Sitaux never really found a good engagement this entire game. He lost his initial army. It was 9-1 KD for Sobek. In Castle Age, he lost so many monks, so many siege units, so many pikemen. He's never had a good fight, not once. A 2-1 KD, a 38-0 eco KD right now for Sobek, but Castle.
Yeah, Castle.
Yeah, maybe, Sobek, you might want to cancel that one, dude. You might want to back out of this one.
Just go back a bit. But actually, Sitaux is so far from getting his own castle. It's not like he will be able to trap down this castle on the hill, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So that's looking really rough for Sitaux, actually.
Castle might actually still go up because Sitau's still losing this fight.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like it gets denied. Castle at home then for Sobek as he thinks, how can I lose this game? A good way to lose this game would be raided at home by Eagles. His Cav Archers continue to get crazy amounts of kills. It is 140 Vils for Sobek. It is just 100 for Sitaux, who, like you said, needs stone. But he is not going to be able to push that castle back anytime soon from Sobek. And could be more Cav Archers, more upgrades, then Keshik's mixed in. This feels like it's over for Sitaux. He might know it's over, but he doesn't want to call it just yet.
Yeah, and Inca's pike and skirm is as expensive as Byzantine skirm and pike. It's super cheap. And when you're playing versus Byzantine, you're like, okay, even if I'm ahead, I need to kill now because if the games go longer and longer, it can be problematic, right? So I think that's kind of the same there. So he still needs to finish it.
Ooh, big shot. Yeah, big shot. And the GG's called, and Sobek takes the first game. Now, I said this in Dark Age. Not even expecting it, but it's always important to point out, if you come in here being the favorite, then being the favorite on Arabia, with the better Arabia Civ, bad fights happen. Your opponent looks really smooth, really strong. This can make you shake, Margugu, and so Sitaux may be nervous right now.
Maybe he's nervous, or maybe he's blaming the hotkeys, I don't know, but that's not a good situation for sure.
Yeah, a 2.31 KD for Sobek, who dominated him. 236 kills, 102 units lost. And again, I think the Incas are superior to the Tatars in some way. The good news here is it's not a best of 3. It's not a best of 5. It's a best of 7. So you have time if you're Sitaux to turn it around. And if you are truly the better player, obviously there's plenty more games to come. But that was clean from Sobek. This is a big one for Sitaux. He's now playing against Sobek's first pick of Civilization with a very high pick himself. To go down 0-2 could really affect his mental state. So Japanese against Persians. Talk to me about the Japanese. What are you trying to do? You know the Persians are going to have great economy and their docks are really strong. But what's the focus of the Japanese here?
Well, I think when you're playing Japanese, you want to aim on your bonuses, especially versus Persians, right? Like Persians is insanely good, as you said. So you really need to rely on your bonuses. And what's the best bonuses for Japanese? You have a good fish, you save a lot of wood, and you have an insane men-at-arm. So I think as Japanese there, you want to go men-at-arm no matter what.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will just not use your bonus at the best. And I saw some scout opening as Japanese versus Persians, for example. And the thing is, if Persians do the same, you are in trouble, right? So you need to make sure something happens. And I think one of the best build order for Japanese here is probably like, you do men-at-arms, but you don't go for a range right away before that. You go like for men-at-arms, you put the pressure, and while you are putting the pressure, you expand on lakes to catch up in economy, to have your fish like fishing a lot, and with the bonus of the Japanese fish also. And then you use your bonuses to the maximum. That's my idea. Because if you play normal versus Persians, you lose the fight in the water because Persian dogs does have more HP. They produce faster as well.
Very strong.
Like they have a lot of bonuses to fight. So the idea is you make men at arms to avoid the fight, to expand your economy, and then going CA is not a bad option, I would say.
And you know what's interesting is that, I mean, first off, both of their golds are brutal, but this is common for this map. You need military, but Sitaux is pushing every deer. So a lot of players are gonna like scout the map, try and find the opponent first. He really wants that food. He does actually know where his other turkeys are, or his geese. So he might be able to find those too. So nice food boost for him. He's gonna dock the right side. We are gonna have Sobek dock the south. Now, scouting where the opponent is docked is smart, but both of these civs actually have a reason for you to not want to attack their pond. The Japanese have the really strong fish, so it feels like you're never going to kill them. And then the Persians have the really strong docks. So I don't know how it goes. It'll be kind of interesting.
I think Persia bonus will be better, but I actually think that the Japanese fish in a fight are super underrated. It can turn the fight so badly. Like, you just take every of them to tank the fire during the fight, and you can just win because of that.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll see how things play out here. No barracks yet. And there's the dock on that right side for Sitaux. If Sitaux wants to dock his opponent, as they find each other here next to the geese. But Sitaux should have a pretty easy walk to the south. And Sobek should have a pretty easy walk to the east as well to get docks down. So I think they're really exposed. Margugo, I'm hearing myself twice somehow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like not all the time. I would say, could you maybe, I don't know what you could do, but like move your mic a bit further away or something. I don't know.
Like, is it better now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's just
I lower your sound a bit.
It's not that big a deal. I was thinking maybe somehow like, are you using a headset?
Yes.
I was wondering, okay, it's better now. It's better now. So I just keep your mic away from your ears.
Okay. Just tell me if you hear, and I will try to make it better. But I already tried something, so if it's fixed, it's perfect. Yeah. But if you hear, don't just tell me, and I'll try something.
It's not. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal.
Okay.
Compared to some other issues, some casters don't know how to press on mute, so at least we can hear you.
Okay. Is it Dave?
I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, some people just don't know how to unmute. Sobek is gonna steal some geese here, and Sitau's not gonna be happy about that. And then we do have the scout headed over towards that right-hand side. I mean, the scouting has actually been pretty poor here. Sobek hasn't seen the dock from his opponent at all. He's also looked and hasn't seen the barracks. And then Sitaux has seen the dock, and that's about it.
Yeah, and actually, Sitaux is going for a barracks as well, same as Sobek. I think Sitaux kind of Sobek kind of need to respect the Japanese men-at-arms. Even if it don't happen, you need to respect it. You cannot just go like, expand your dock first, like otherwise you can die to Japanese men-at-arms, right?
Okay, big moment. So we have a dock going up from Sobek on the pond for Sitaux, and Sitaux will know about that because of his fishing ship being there, but it is still going to happen. So he adapts now into a second dock to defend his fish there.
Interesting, actually, because I don't know how do you think what should be the best reaction versus a Persian dock, right? Because let's say Sobek just go for one fish in his dock and he guys need to fake a pressure.
Yeah.
Sitaux will need to overreact so much.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Sobek doesn't know his opponent's gone 2 docks. He doesn't even know his opponent necessarily knows he's there. So it's really tricky. And this is the exact type of moment why this map is amazing. Because we're talking about big differences in one corner of the map, and it affects everywhere else too, where you're investing your resources. So really tricky, and there's still nothing stopping Sitaux from going forward himself and docking Sobek. So
and Sitaux is not going for men-at-arms, but for French drush. Actually, I know he loves that. Actually,
yeah, he started it.
Yeah, he started it, but even on hybrid maps, most of the time people are like, okay, I'm gonna go for a men-at-arms because I have more resources to work with.
Yeah. But
Sitaux is just like going for this little pressure. He's thinking it's insanely good. But that's the problem, right? If he makes it into the main event, I know himself so much. I will be able to spot him first game. if
Okay,
it's him.
all right, I love that. I love the fact that you said that. I also love this wall from Sobek to try and trap this. So Margugu, announcement time, everybody. Margugu is going to be a main event caster, and he just said that he will be able to spot Sitaux first game.
Oh, no, I have the pressure. But yes, I think I can. I think my position is probably one of the best to guess who's who, because I am a high elo player. I train a lot with a lot of players, right?
Whoa. Okay,
What?
continue.
Okay. And then, no, I'm a high elo player, so I train a lot with a lot of people, so I know their playstyle, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I co-cast some, so I kind of have the both role. You know?
That's true.
I watch a lot, I play a lot, so if I don't guess everything's right, I will be upset about myself.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, because I don't know if you've casted a Hidden Cup before. You never did, right?
No,
It is.
I watched it.
It is so easy as a slightly less high elo player. Thank you for that. It is, you get so confident, Margugu, and you believe in yourself so much. And then 2 days later, you see another player, and all these games are living in your brain. And you're like, wait, I saw Vinchester do that in 2018. Oh my God. And like, it is really confusing at times, bro.
It's gonna be super fun anyway, but yeah, maybe if I don't find Sitaux, if he's qualified, though, I will be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Even that, I failed it.
I
Oh,
can't
no.
wait. I can't wait. And we had a villager go down here in the south, which was just the Dockville. There is a big moment still happening. I like what Sobek has done. Like, Sobek basically said, I don't need to rush with my ships.
Yeah.
Because Sitaux has so many, and because my dock is so strong. So he's gonna hop out eventually here and surprise Sitaux. But I mean, Sitaux might be surprised on land here in a second. Sitaux has not had a lot of land army at all. And I'm quite concerned for Sitaux at the moment. With the positioning of the archers for Sobek, the surprise that could happen from the dock, this could be kind of awkward for Sitaux. Having said that, though, Margugu, at the exact same time, Sitaux is actually going forward with archers. So that might get really, really messy.
Actually, the difference is that Sitaux is getting fletching, while Sobek is only building the blacksmiths. And having fletching in this type of trade could be insane, because when you are fletching, you destroy the vills. Without fletching, it's different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And fletching will probably come in for Sobek, but he doesn't have it yet. Sitaux has it now. An issue again with a hockey is so weird. No one else has reported any issues with this. And oh man, both players are gonna. It's this damage control time. If you could ever quick gate, if you could ever quick market anything, this is where you need it. If you're both players, this is gonna be really brutal. Villager going down for Sitaux almost, and now Sitaux is on Sobek's wood line, and Sobek's reacting. There's also the gold. Margugu, this is so awkward to even cast right now. Oh man.
Sobek needs to make some skirm now. It will be way easier for him. Oh, Sobek didn't react on the gold. And there is a 1 HP scout destroying the vills.
Yeah, this is really good for Sitaux. I agree. Now, there's also the water, which we didn't touch on. So the fires are firing away. So there's like 3 things happening at once. But I think Sitaux will be happy with how many villagers he killed. He will know his opponent didn't react. And it seems like he kind of is clearing up the ranged army, but man, that's so messy. Look at the wood count right now for Sobek. 600 wood.
Yeah, time for a market abuse, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, and another vill. Oh, actually, this trade was so good for Sitaux. If you look at the Eco KD, 5-1, and maybe 5-2 soon.
Yeah, Sitaux did have a little bit more TC idle time, but I think it's where he killed the villagers. I think it's the fact his fishing ships are still alive. He will actually clear up the Persian dock.
Yeah.
Sitaux is fishing a little bit in the north. They are both actually going to be in the west. Sobek noticed, and he will make a fire galley there. But game far from over, though. This is Persians we're talking about, right? Like, Persians could produce very quickly out of those TCs. So losing a couple additional villagers, normally you're going to be able to make up for that with the Persian economy.
Yeah. Persian economy is insanely good. So even if he loses some vills, he will be able to catch up thanks to the faster production of the TC, so he should be able to catch up. He should be able also to win the lake on the west.
Yeah.
On the left of the map. Yeah, I think that's kind of... I would say Sitau's position is a bit better, but that's close, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if he uses the market, he should be in a really nice position headed towards Castle Age. Both players, I think, could benefit from that. But at the end of the day, like, Sitaux's got another army coming forward. And this was an archer war, and now Sitaux's got skirms. And scouts are maybe going to be needed here for Sobek. It's actually a really nice thing for Sitaux to see. Knowing your opponent has a stable right now means that they will likely be in feudal age a whole lot longer than you. And you can make adjustments on this. You know, okay, I might lose these skirms, but I need to wall up. And as long as I'm walled, I'll be in Castle Age faster. And obviously a lot of good things can come from Castle Age.
As long as if he's getting clean, he cannot get damage at home, he's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. And actually, that's really good for Sitaux because adding Scout now, like, it's not even a guarantee that Sobek will manage to clear Sitaux because Sitaux is adding Spear, Japanese Spears. He's like playing like MBL on this one. And I can tell you that I played many versus MBL playing like that, and you need so many Scouts to be able to clear that.
Yeah. Agreed.
So...
It's actually, I know that MBL kind of gets memed on and people joke a lot about how many skirms and spears he makes, but I actually feel like the more and more I play in these situations, playing skirm instead of switching into archers or my own scouts, I think adding a couple extra spears is really nice.
Yeah. That's like, it's so much value for little cost, right? It's like your skirm are naked. You add 2 spear, which is like 75 food, 75 wood, kinda. And suddenly your army is super hard to deal with. So that's an insane value from a little investment. So
and also, on top of that, he also just backed away. So he didn't give any opportunity for Sobek to take a good engagement yet. Sobek's 2 scouts kind of feel like they're a bit of a waste right now. And this is what we mean. Just a couple of spear. You don't have enough scouts to engage against this Sitaux. I know it's been kind of a rough start to the series for him. But he's in a very nice position to tie this up as long as he can get some damage in here in Castle Age.
Yeah. I think Sitaux is in a winning position. I think he's reading the game correctly, right? He's going double stable. And if he thought that Sobek was up 2, he wouldn't do that because then Camo just counter knights.
True.
But he realized that he has a lot of timing advantage and he will just go for the kill, I guess.
Oh, man. And yeah, these trades are insane, dude. Like, normally... If you're the player who's gone Castle Age faster, you aren't going to be winning the fights as much because you have invested less into the fights. But huge clear there. Sobek's base wide open. Now Sobek is going to win the water on the left, but it's not like he's really fished that much in his starting pond. And knights into 3 town centers for Sitaux. So much like the previous game where he went for the town centers, he's going to have a big eco. But this game, we know he's going to dominate with the military. And the GG's called. Sitaux ties it up.
1-1. Yeah, my take is that Spear Skirm is a bit too OP.
Okay.
But I mean, as an archer lover, I mean, you won't expect something else from me. So
okay, all right, good to know. Well, I mean, what I loved, there was a moment there where both players were moving in with archers, and Sobek actually had hit Sitaux's woodline first, right? So if anyone's going to find the villager kills, if anyone's going to find the damage there, it in theory could have been Sobek killing the villagers. But Sobek only killed 1 eco unit this game, only 1 villager, and then Sitaux killed like 5 in that attack. He had the archers microing. He also had the scout and the militia, which were actually huge, distracting on the other side and getting kills. And so maybe kind of what we expected. We didn't see it in game 1, but game 2, Sitaux better with the multitasking. And also, I think what benefited him was still that early pressure from the Japanese, which we talked about.
Yeah, he played really well this one. It was really clean from him. He managed to win the lake on the right as well. So yeah.
So game number 3, and we've got some elite water civs here. I think if there were to be a debate, like a sit down and debate and argue and look at stats and look at tech trees about islands, I think that there could be a lot of cases for Armenians to be number 1 and a lot of cases for Italians to be number 1. All the other civs, there are some good civs out there, probably fall in, at least in my view, Marguku, below them. What do you think about that?
I think Armenians is top 1. Like,
you think Armenians are better?
By far. By
far. Okay, so interesting you say that because Armenians have been banned a lot in this qualifier, and I think a lot of people felt that as well. So normally we haven't seen the Armenians played, and we've seen the Italians played more maybe because people think they're strong, but they're actually somewhat beatable. So I think the big reason for the Armenians being strong is their mule cart upgrades being so much more effective because you can get the gold upgrade and the wood upgrade from the mule carts. And on a water map, you're usually just going wood and gold units, right? And that's
exactly.
before you even talk about the late game for them. So yeah, they could be insane here, but their win rate hasn't been so good just yet. But again, I think they have been banned quite a lot.
Yeah, that's normal. They are so like when you think about a Civ, like most of the Civ design is like they are strong early and late game, or they are strong on the mid game, or like they have like peak of bonuses happening in a game, right?
Yeah.
When you think about Armenians, the mule cart is cheaper than a lumber camp first.
Yep.
Then the wood upgrade gives you more wood. Then your galley are shooting double arrows.
Yep.
So your early game is insane. Okay. Then mid game, you make a monastery, you have one free relics. You have the warrior priests. Nobody can land you because warrior priests kill enemy monks, kill enemy siege, kill everything.
Yep.
And you can even like use your fortified church as a mini tower to defend.
Okay.
OP. And then the free relics and late game, you have like nuclear bomb that are called demos for them.
Yep.
You have like a BBC Mangonel Trebs of the Sea Dromons.
Yep.
Galeron extra range, like it's just too much.
Okay. So I agree with you. I'm going to make this interesting, though. You ready for this?
Okay.
Sobek's going to win. 100%. You know why? You know why?
Okay.
You know why I'm making this bold statement here? I'm making this bold statement because I agree. The Armenians have so many things that they can do. It's so strong. But it's not as easy to play. I think like it's more specific things. The Italians, cheaper next stage, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper dock techs. I think that is easier to play if it gets messy. And so that's why I think Italians, even if on paper they may be out-teched, and every Civ might be out-teched by Armenians, I don't know. I think Sobek's going to find a way, but I just wanted to say that to make things interesting here.
Okay.
You know?
No, I see what you mean. It's like harder to master the Armenians, easier to play the Italians.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
at the end, it matters in the game, right?
It's like if I were to make a land comparison, Italians are like the Franks of the Sea. They're super easy to play.
Yes.
They have really solid late game. And so you see a lot of people doing well with the Italians because of how smooth it is. But obviously there are Civs that are better than Franks that maybe have good matchups that could, in theory, counter them. That's the way I see it. It's not quite that simple, but I think that's the best way to explain the way I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. But
the question is, will Sobek land or not? I saw him landing versus... Was it versus...
It was against Valis. Yep, it was against Valis.
Yeah, he landed.
And I think what I would do is I would go back dock. I would go transport after 3 fishing ships. And then I would make it messy because that's what you want here against a galley player. And I think Sitaux even expects it. Do you see this palisade wall? He's like, just in case, I'm going to have a couple palisade walls there. Very interesting.
I have an idea, actually. Like, I thought about a plan for islands, and as I'm animated, I will not be able to make it work. But I had a plan. It's like, I go FC. No, I go like fast feudal, but just booming on fish. And I just make one transport with a flag. I show myself intentionally just to make reaction. And I just release my scout on the island, but I don't do anything. And the guy will just overreact while I'm booming.
Honestly, I mean, that just added another reason why I'm disappointed you're out of the qualifier, Margugu. I think that's actually not horrible.
Yeah,
because
I think that...
And it's not like you can't use the transport again later. Because what happens is the second someone sees your scout, they're going to go full wall. They're going to drop a barracks. And that's like big villager and resource investment. And if you're just 2 docks at home making ships anyways, I could see them being very confused.
Yeah. And actually, even my follow-up was clean, I think, in my strategy. It was like my follow-up is like I go faster Castle Age then because I baited him. And then I go like double Nastri at home to get all the 4th relics on the middle.
Yep.
And then I'm just in a good position. Oh, and look at Sobek. He's going for the landing. Actually.
Yes, he is. He's going for the landing. Now, the island generations can be a bit weird sometimes. So this is a neutral island, and the other neutral island he passed as well. And where is he going to arrive? He needs to avoid the wall.
Oh, please make a T90. Just go for the range on the neutral islands.
No.
Wait.
Don't. He
No.
actually checked. He's going to make the barracks there, which seems bad. But Sitaux doesn't see it. And look where Sitaux's going to scout right now.
Oh, actually, that's insane. That's no. Sitaux, man, go on the top, please.
Oh, man. And, like, I'm sure Sobek's probably like, crap, this is so bad. But it is actually going to be amazing because the longer this takes to be found, the more likely Sitaux is going to think that his opponent is just going Navy.
Oh.
Which is not the case.
Now I remember Sitaux teaching me how to land. He was like, never go in the front, you're getting spotted instantly, always go in the back on the side.
Yeah.
And now, oh no. Oh, look at Sitaux vision. That's awful. He's just right in his face.
Oh man. Also, Sobek has not seen a dock on the front, so if he does make ships, he's gonna know the fish are probably on the back. I think Sitaux just saw the scout, and now he sees the vills, and now he sees the archers, and now he has to immediately react. Oh my goodness, this is chaos.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think tower is probably a good idea because archers are gonna be dangerous here. The scout going down here for Sitaux could be a problem. The tower goes up. He has to now damage control, and so he's going to run over to his stone to try and get as much stone as possible so he can make another tower soon.
Where is his second stone? He has a stone in the back, actually. If he manage to wall from his wood line to his dock, he will be able to take it.
Yeah, true. So, again, we talked about all the Armenian bonuses, the mule cart, the navy, but this type of play makes it more awkward for Sitaux. But the thing that's amazing for Sitaux, he actually made his own transport ship, which if you look for it, Margugu, it's going to make you laugh. But he also has 6 fishing ships, which is really nice behind this.
I know Sitaux loves to go for a counter attack on this type of map. He just wall at home, make his own archer, and go for a counter landing with like 4 archer and fletching.
Okay, interesting.
I think that's if you manage to do it in time, it's a GG move, right? Because Sobek will have nothing to defend with at home, but it's really hard to make it short as well because you need a lot of time.
This mule cart is actually going to be really helpful for Sitaux because he can take stone to the mule cart right here, and that will help him get another tower here soon. But the house is going to go down, and Sobek might get through. And Sobek is, he's untouched at home. That's the big thing. He is untouched at home. His fish are safe for now behind this, and he's making a lot of fire galleys.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. But he missed the galley by 1 tile, actually.
Yeah.
And that could be bad, because if the galley manages to snipe the fish, then Sitaux's position gonna be insane, I think.
Agreed. Something that could be awkward for Sitaux is if he goes to make farms and realizes, oh crap, I haven't made a mill yet. Because those berries can be super nice on this map.
Oh, true. Oh, wait. Sobek wants to force under the TC.
Oh, man, that's bad. That is really bad for him. Big clear up for Sitaux, who still has 6 fish behind this. He hasn't lost any yet. But Sobek was maybe reacting to the galleys. He may lose some fish here. But he does notice that. And then his fires are still looking for Sitaux's fish. But he doesn't have scouting on that. He actually went forward dock here. He still hasn't been able to get to the back and kill the fish. It looks like he's looking right now, though, Margugu.
And he did not find the transport from Sitaux as well. Like, the transport of Sitaux is on the middle of nowhere, but on the front.
Oh, he's going to find it.
Oh, no.
Just passing. No. No. Oh.
Oh, no. Just imagine if this transport will transport like 3 archer and kill the game.
Yeah.
And then Sobek will rewatch it and he will be like, I just had 2 patrol.
Well,
and I won.
Well, I mean, I think Sitaux is still going to have to work really hard right now. Because there's fires now on his fish. And you remember, it's cheaper to go up to the next stage with the Italians. Your fishing ships were cheaper. Your dock techs are cheaper, which really plays a big role in the Castle Age. And this has just not been a game where the Armenian bonuses have been able to shine, at least yet. Sitaux, though, going to buy some resources to click up. He's in a manageable spot there. And he has dealt with the landing. He didn't lose too much. He only lost the fish economically. And he's even relocating the rest of the fish. He's definitely still in this game.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the stable from Sobek is scary, right? Because on this map, like, if you still have the opponent on your island, potentially taking some resources as well.
Yeah.
It's not cool. And I would love Sobek to make a TC on Sitaux Island actually. Like you are up versus Armenians. Like he saw the game from Armenians. He saw that in late game you cannot win if you are on even spot. So I think you need to go for some crazy idea too.
I think
and it could be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I think the knights are going to force a lot of reactions. These 1 or 2 knights. Your opponent's on skirms. You've got cheap dock techs. I wouldn't mind a second TC at home here for Sobek. Just get a lead in early castle and then try to win the game in early imp. Nice defense there from Sitaux.
Okay, that's going to be a wild one. Look at Sitaux transport.
What?
Wheels are
4
going
of them?
off. That's going to be a wild one.
Oh, man,
Maybe.
imagine if that transport went down earlier. This should be a possibility.
Yeah. It's going to be a fortified church rush, I guess. I think. Then you will have the warrior priest, and good luck stopping that.
Interesting choice. You know what's wild is Sitaux doesn't know there's a stable on his base. So.
Oh, really?
So we're assuming like he's gonna prep for it. I don't think he knows. And he's dropping a stable at Sobek's base, and Sobek certainly doesn't know about this. Oh boy.
Oh, maybe the fire patrolling on the top of the stable will...
No, it'll patrol too far. It's gonna head towards the water. Yeah, I mean, fortified church gives you the relic. Actually, you need to make the fortified church at your own island. You don't want to give the enemy an extra relic.
Actually, yeah, he wants to make the first one at home. And he's doing that.
Oh, that's so funny. Can you imagine if he builds the first one forward and then loses it, then the opponent gets a relic in late game? That's super smart.
Actually, Sobek is going for a second TC. Like, the position of the second TC is really good. He might be able to manage to defend, but he needs to react in time.
This is wild to me. This is just wild to me that the transport, that the fire ship pissed has made this type of a difference. Oh my god, Sitaux. The knight in the wood line is going to do so much. Sobek has no clue. And there's another fortified church going up. We are going to have a warrior priest rush here. Not just knights, warrior priests. These are monks that heal and attack, but cannot convert. What in the world?
And you need a tournament to convert them even.
Yeah.
That's what... Like, they're so OP because of that.
And then look at Sitaux. He's making monks from home. This is actually perfect defense. Because if he made warrior priest here, then he wouldn't be able to do what he just did and get that conversion. Wow. Dang. What a game.
That's a wild one. That's a wild one. But in all this mess, both kept some fish alive. But Sitaux might lose them actually. And losing fish in this type of scenario is super bad.
They're both losing it, Margugu, because at the same time, Sitaux just killed fish. So they're both going to be being aggressive against the other's fish. The knight for Sitaux is here on the golds. The fires are killing some villagers on the shoreline. Very nice for Sitaux. The fish for Sobek have not found the fish from
I
Sitaux.
love what's doing Sitaux. Sitaux is stealing the relics from Sobek and bringing it to his own islands. I love this move.
Wait, where?
Like the transport ship just came back with the relics. I think that's so good.
Whoa, that is super good. Yeah, because you're thinking late game, right? And the relics matter a lot in late game. And wow, exactly. I mean, so he's not really focusing on the push much at all then, right? That is him definitely thinking that this game's going to go to imp anyways. That could be huge.
In my trainings on this map, I realized that you can win 60 vills against 120 if you have more relics than your opponent.
Yep, exactly.
That's just how good relics are on this map.
Well,
so going all in for relics is worth it, I would say.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring it up because obviously, like, everyone knows that sometimes on islands you just run out of resources, right?
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. Like, someone's like, add more wood. Well, if I add more wood, then the game goes on for another hour, but then they still run out of resources.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, what way can we give the aggressor and the player who has control more advantages? And relics are a big reason for that.
That's really good. I think the map is really good. Like, early stage of my training, it was like Galley all-in versus Galley all-in.
Yeah.
The one winning it wins the game. Then we realized the pathing is that bad that going fire... Like, I swear, I did a training with... Who was it? I think it was before the pathing with Sebastian. And he went Galley on Feudal Age into fire on Castle Age. On paper, it's so bad on paper.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the Galley mass. He won just because my Galley were just... not moving. Well, he won because of that.
Well, I can tell that still is bothering you, Margugu. I appreciate you using this. I use my casting as a venting session as well. I'm just.
Oh, look at the castle from Sitaux, actually.
What?
Oh, no.
I mean, it's an epic castle, dude. He's like, you want to build up buildings on my base? How about I build a castle on yours? And it's hard to stop because the fortified church lets you garrison. So if anything comes here to try and attack this, the monks and the villagers can garrison. It's super strong. Oh,
Okay,
God.
my hope now is that Sobek will castle drop Sitau's island, and they will switch island, and then Sobek gets the relic that Sitaux steal from Sobek island. That's my guess.
I mean, honestly,
I would love that.
That would be hilarious, and it would maybe be your best play. If you, if you try and just defend your island that has been castle dropped, you will probably lose. So Sobek needs to find a way. The problem is his buildings are all surrounded now. There's lots of army around. There's monks. We might even see redemption for Sitaux to like try and convert the buildings. So it's just become very difficult here for Sobek, but he is still like, I would be so unbelievably dead right now, Margugu.
Yeah.
How is he still alive? How is his economy still really strong here? I don't know.
How is his top score as well? I have no clue.
The Navy.
Like, I have no clue.
Well, it's the Navy, right? And he continues to miss out on some patrols. Finally, gets a bit lucky because he's been looking for the fish, but he's got so much more Navy than Sitaux, which obviously is really important here on islands. So he'll kill the fires. He'll finally kill those pesky fishing ships. And, well, I mean, he's still got some potential to fight with these buildings, but it doesn't seem like he's going to do too much more with that right now.
Yeah, it's like his situation is super complicated, right?
Yeah.
Like he got pushed back at Sitau's island, and at home he has a castle taking out 2 TCs.
Both TCs. Yeah, that castle is actually perfect. You're stealing the opponent's stone, and then you will eventually take down 2 town centers. That is so brutal.
And then you will have composite bowman in your face as well. Like you have like composite bowman, warrior priest in your face, fortified church. That's a lot to deal with.
Well, atonement is in, so monks can be converted, but there's the composite bowman, and like you said, they're going to run in, and that is not something that Sobek was planning on dealing with. He was just simply preparing monks to go for the other monks, or the priests rather. So he has to desperately add siege, but oh man, his TC is getting siege down. It's just so awkward. I'm really struggling to see a way that Sobek can hold on here unless he kills these composite bowmen quickly.
Yeah, and even the knight will get destroyed by the composite bowman because they're in your armor, right? So that's super tricky. And even composite bowman, when you think about it, like for Armenians, is a really good landing unit.
Yeah, it's true. Uh-oh, this castle.
Oh,
in game number 1, we had a doubt sighting, and it was from Sitaux. Game number 3 here.
It goes up, but wait, maybe not.
I don't know if it goes up. I don't know. I don't know, dude. He's gonna lose a lot here. Oh, jeez, it's gonna go up.
Oh.
Yikes.
I can tell you that Sobek's mouse is dead now. Like he can go for a new one for the next game. Like he clicked so hard, he destroyed his mouse for sure.
Yeah, we need to take a 20-minute break so we can go to the store and get a new mouse. Well, that did it right there, right? Because Sitaux was behind an eco, and now after those kills, he's killed 49 eco. Which is crazy. After that, he's got a castle up at home. His food eco is actually awful. So, like, it's not like he's going to be imp anytime soon. But it does feel like he's in such a good position now.
Yeah, maybe going 3 TC right away for Sobek was too much, actually.
No, I actually think everything Sobek did was great. He just didn't know the landing was coming. If that landing never if that transport dies, the rest of this game is amazing for Sobek. I actually think he wins. But the transport was brilliant.
Aye. When you will watch that, this fire kissing the transport, you will be like, no way.
Yeah, seriously. Brutal stuff. I do like how Sobek's still trying to do something. Like, he still has the knights and the scout around, but there's really nothing over there. I do like how he continues to fight here, because we do know oftentimes on islands the game can go on for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like Sobek have the relic advantage as well. Like Sitaux is going for the 6th and 7th relic, I would say. So yeah.
I've never seen someone get... Well, I've seen someone get 6. I don't think I've ever seen someone get 7.
Do you think we will see somewhat getting 10 relics in the main event? Because both are going Armenians and one stealing all the relics from the others. It's possible, actually.
Ah, that's true.
But
I mean,
yeah,
odds are slim, but it is a possibility. Yeah.
could be fun. 10 relics? Oof.
And then it's like, it's interesting that we're talking so much about relics because, you know, if a couple Reddit threads were anything to go by, Portuguese, we're just going to dominate with Vitórias here, right? And like no one's playing Portuguese, which is interesting. I think that a lot of that is because Portuguese are really strong on other maps.
Yeah, potentially, yes.
That's probably a big reason why. But yeah, it's definitely been a relic conversation on this map. Not so much the Vitórias. Wow, what a game. That transport ship that Sitaux was lucky to still have changed the game. You called it though, Margugu. Like Sitaux apparently likes to go for some counter damage, and it's not something we see every day. Usually the player who gets landed just defends and tries to clear that and then win water, and then the other player is extremely safe at home. The landing, the knight, the warrior priests, and then transporting all the relics back home. Super smart play from Sitaux.
Yeah.
And he's up 2-1 now.
That was a really nice game to watch, at least.
Yeah.
But
stuff.
yeah, warrior priest, once again. Like, that's a little details among all the bonuses of Armenians. But
yep.
warrior priest is just too good, right?
Well, I
You
just
can
love...
go-
Yeah, I love how we saw that in offense and defense here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We got to see the forward church and the priests for the attack, and then we got to see the defensive church with the monks for the conversions. Is really
That's
sick
true.
that we got to see that from Sitaux. And that is not... I think it is easy to oversimplify it and just act like, oh, yeah, it's obvious. They're so strong. That's not easy to think about. To time your churches like he did for the relics, to go
Yes.
for the correct ones, to do everything else is really impressive.
He played amazing, that's for sure. The decision of going counter landing was insane.
Yeah. And it worked out. Sobek's probably so frustrated. But I mean, what are you going to do when you get landed like that? I think Sobek kind of did everything he could because he just didn't build up at all for any type of land defense. And it just came so fast.
Hindustani Malians, camel sieves? Interesting.
The last time I saw this matchup, I saw a lot of camels. Like, neither Civ gets pike. Both Civs get insanely strong camels. So I'm curious, this may become a camel war, but there's obviously lots of different options. And there's also lots of different options on slopes, which is what I like about the map. You've got the food on the sides with the shorefish and the deer. And you also have stone and gold over there and lots of wood up on the hill. And then there's lots of gold and stone through the middle as well. That's neutral. And then tiny little wood lines that the players are going to have to wall between here, Margugu.
I'm thinking about the matchup. Like, I'm thinking about how this game gonna go.
Okay.
Actually, I think Malians needs to kill fast because the late game might be Pike versus Pike, then 9 range and Cannoneer.
Uh-huh.
And I do believe Malians cannot win this, I think.
Well, what about if you play like crossbow camel?
Yeah,
Crossbow,
that's why I think.
crossbow knight even with the Malians. I think my issue with the Hindustanis on maps where it's a bit more open is they don't have a lot of tools to kill villagers because they can't make knights.
Yeah.
And then it feels awkward playing archers with them as well. It wouldn't even surprise me if we saw something like cav archers for the Hindustanis at some point here.
Could be an option, yeah. But I definitely think that Malians needs to play aggressive on Castle Age. Like, they want the double gold composition with like archers and camel, I think.
Okay.
Should be the best. But then when you think about that, like, what's gonna be Sobek answer to this? Like, he won't just play like camel versus archer, right? So
Yep.
maybe Sobek gonna go like maybe skirm camel or maybe his own archer, but feels a bit weird, right? Because with the ballistic of the Malians, like, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
It's gonna be an interesting one.
yeah. What makes it more interesting is the options you have and how you play some of this as well. Like, I think already we're seeing Sitaux at least scout the sides a lot. Like, this guy's scouting with every single goose, which is pretty... Maybe that's too much, actually. If someone's coming to scout you, maybe you shouldn't have them out there. But He's pushing in some deer. I do want to mention, and maybe some stat people could let us know, but I think this has only been played one time in the entirety of the qualifier, this matchup. And it was on Gold Rush. It was between Bubba Rum and Brave Bear.
How do you call him? Babo what?
How am I supposed to say it?
In French, it's Babo Rum.
Babo Rum?
Babo Rum.
Baba Rum.
Baba O Rum.
Baba Rum. So I have to add the O.
Yeah. Yes, you have
Baba
to say
Rum.
Yes, that's way better actually.
That feels way worse to me. Not gonna lie.
I mean, that's normal, right?
Baba Rum.
It's like, but you know, I'm listening like English cast all the day.
Yeah.
And at the end, when I say the name myself in French, for example, I will have the tendency to say it like with a weird accent, like with a Franglish accent.
A Franglish?
Franglish. It's like, because then I know how to say it properly, but I hear it constantly in English. It's like I don't know, how do you say Jean Bureau? I think you say it like Jean Bureau, right? I think you said something like that. Well, in French, it's just Jean Bureau.
Yeah, but I can't. You at least understand why it's tricky for me to say it how you say it, right?
Yes.
Because the way you said it exactly how I say it, but you were very Franglishing there. You were Franglishing because the 2/3 of the start there was all French, and it very much went to English. Yeah. So I was gonna ask you how you said that.
That's gonna be funny for the main event. The heroes' name are not that easy.
Yeah.
I saw like a Polish name, I believe, something like that. It was like, oof, this one, oof.
Well, so I am going to be doing pronunciation practice right before the main event because some of them were bad in the past. Like I clearly did no practice. So we will have like a lot of more focus on the heroes this time, and I will hopefully do better. I don't think I could do worse actually than I did in the past. So, but yeah, no practice just yet for me on that. So apologies. Okay. And Sobek has moved forward really early to scout. I noticed Sitaux stayed at home for a long time here. One of the deer trolled him, so I think he wanted to send a message to the deer and make sure to push it in anyways. But, I mean, he has not scouted his opponent at all here. And Sobek is already forward looking to see what Sitaux is going to do.
I have to say, I love the way you're saying Salim the Grim. Can you say it?
Salim the Grim.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, Slim the Grim's going to win, dude. He's going to win. I don't know. The players don't have their names yet, obviously. But unfortunately, there's going to be a whole lot of controversy because the Salim the Grim name is going to be so overpowered that whoever gets Salim is going to win. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Salim the Grim win. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect, actually. And there is another French name than Jean Bureau, too. Like someone called Giscard.
Yeah, I think he's from he's Sicilians, and he was the one. He's the U Pudding name actually.
Oh, nice.
I think it's I gotta practice that. But is it like Robert?
Yeah, Robert
Giscard. Yeah.
But you know that a French president, one of the French presidents, like I don't know, like 25 years ago, was called Giscard. Like his name was Valéry Giscard d'Estaing. So you have a Giscard in the middle of the name. So every French was like, oh, that's a French heroes again. That's like our president. So people think it's French, actually.
Okay. Well, good to know. Man, really crazy stuff here with the scouts there. Sobek almost found the kill, and then Sitaux was able to save the build. And now Sitaux's coming in with the militia. I love this build. I think that this, even though it hasn't killed anything yet, this has made Sobek change his plan a little bit. And it is so good for the Malians because your barracks is so much cheaper. This gives you time to wall. So we'll see how Sitaux's eco looks. His eco is actually looking really brutal right now for food. But I do like what the two militia have done. It has made Sobek's life a little bit more difficult right now.
Yeah, that was a really good French rush, actually. Like, the French rush, if you force your opponent to wall in his resources, it's already a win, right?
Yeah.
Because you invest that little of resources, that any type of pressure that you can put on your opponent is good. Like, even if you just don't do anything with the militia, you just like kill the enemy scout, it's already so good for you.
So, back to the names real quick. Did you know that U-Pudding, when he was labbing out the U-Pudding strategy, that his name was not U-Pudding, but it was Robert Giscard?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
If you go back to the first video of you putting when I just found him, he was playing as the Sicilian guy who is known for being like, I gotta double check the history of it, but I think he was actually involved with like the dungeons and whatnot. In some capacity.
Really?
Yeah, like literally.
Okay.
So he was full on role playing, which I think is so epic.
Oh, I love this. I love the roleplay thing. Like, I love the storytelling as well. I think that's insane for events, like in life in general. Like, it just adds so much like spicy to everything. I love it.
Yeah. Well, walls are gonna come up here for Sobek, and there's no holes here for Sitaux. So yeah, Sitaux just thought I can delay my opponent. Yeah. And then I can chill. And he has a really nice map to chill. The berries, the gold, the stone, even the wood. Sometimes you don't have a wood line that's safe enough where it can't be ranged by range units. So it's always awkward being in Sobek's position because you don't want to invest too much into army, because if you do that, you could have a problem. And oh, wait a second. Sobek is missing this. The archers for Sitaux are escaping, and Sitaux just saw that hole in the wall there.
Yeah, it just saw the hole, but the scout went through this hole actually from Sitaux.
Yeah.
So thanks for Sobek, otherwise it would have been a massacre in his base.
Yeah, that's true. If the archers found it, it could have been over. Archers for Sitaux just now getting to the other side. And so actually, the skirms actually missed those archers. Oof.
That's actually super risky from Sitaux to move out now, because his scout is walled inside the base. Which means if the skirms just turn back to kill the archer, the archer number for Sitaux could be gone. And as we said, Sitaux needs the archer number in Castle Age.
I will maintain, if I ever move out in that situation, every single archer dies. Yeah. But some players, man, they make it happen. I don't know what it is. Like maybe we haven't been told the secret yet, Margugu. But you're spot on. Moving those archers out like that with no scout support was very risky, but he's going to get here anyways.
He's adding scouts, Sitaux. That's super surprising to me because he's fully walled. And most of the time when both players are fully walled, it's like, okay, like the natural follow-up of this is going Castle Age and that's it. While Sitaux is like investing a lot.
I think he is because look how fast the houses go down against 3 Hindustani scouts. Oh, yeah. It's so fast. And so I think he knows he needs to push this back. Now, Sobek will get to see that. So Sobek will know that the scouts are coming out, which is good because I would be worried maybe that Sitaux is being super greedy and going to Castle Age or something. And meanwhile, we have archers knocking at the door, and the archers are not going to break through for Sitaux if there's skirmishers there for Sobek.
But yeah, same. Like, Sitaux did not respect too much the skirm from Sobek, but Sobek is not respecting at all the stable from Sitaux.
True. He might be trapped in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's bad for Sobek. And Sitaux has, like, forging even, so it's gonna be a disaster for Sobek actually.
Well, it's only 3 skirms though, so as long as I don't know if I love that fight, but I think as long as your scouts stay alive, you could be okay if you're Sobek. Yeah, the archers can't break into your base right now. That's my feeling on it. But you can't take gold that easily, can you? And he's actually over chopping his wood line, and so he needs to be careful there. The scout archer combination is going to be really deadly from Sitaux.
Yeah, but then at the same time, right? He lost like 4 skirm, Sobek, and Sitaux didn't lose his 5 archer.
Yeah. Like, he didn't lose any.
Sobek managed to kill this army, I would say, okay, it's maybe even better for Sobek.
Yep.
But if it doesn't kill this, then Sitaux is so happy about this because he has a scaling army that will be so good in Castle Age.
Yeah.
While Sobek doesn't have number to defend, then will struggle a lot Castle Age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it really just comes back to that opportunity for Sobek, finding those archers. If he would have killed some of them, maybe he'd be in a better position. Sitaux, so interesting, right? Played into walls, but don't be confused. This guy's still a killer, and he's still going to be incredibly aggressive behind that. And he knows he has a timing. You said the words that you think that the Malians have to be extremely aggressive here because Hindustanis could do so well with their hand cannons and their camels later. And so the stone has been sold. Sitaux is not planning on dropping 2nd or 3rd town center, apparently, after doing that.
And yeah, while Sobek is investing into the armor for the skirms, it's not looking good, actually. And just because of that, right? He lost 4 skirms, but then he feels the pressure, and he feels like, okay, I need to invest more to defend. And that's exactly the moment Sitaux is dropping the market, and his market goes up.
I mean, the timings from Sitaux is just unbelievable here, because my feeling, like, I can relate to Sobek right now. You have to make skirms. You feel like you have to.
Yeah.
And he made him at a good time, but they never found the engagement. And then you're like, well, I might as well not have had any skirms, and I might as well have just waited to make them.
Yeah.
It's so
agree.
tricky. Going
I think
skirmishers
Sobek-
could be great, but also if the timing isn't right, it could just seem like a complete waste.
I think his mistake was pretty clear. It was to stay. Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Like when he stayed in front of the Sitaux's base while he saw Sitaux on the right with his archer.
Yeah.
If at this moment he just go back with the idea of killing all the archer of Sitaux, maybe he won't find them. But at least he won't get cleaned by Sitaux, and Sitaux will invest into some scout to make sure his archer makes it home.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah,
Well-
I think that was a mistake from Sobek.
Let's see how he can dance now. If the scouts weren't here, he could maybe hold with some dancing with some skirmishers. But Elite Skirm takes longer than Crossbow. Crossbow Bodkinon is on the way. Sitaux's not thinking about camels. He's going to go for Knight. As Sobek, he started off this series so well, right? He played so good. And how quickly it can turn around on you. He's now down 2-1. If he loses this game, he'll have to win 3 straight to move into Hidden Cup 5 main event. And oh god, you got to drop a tower, right, Margugu? You have to tower.
Yes, you have to. You don't want to, but you need to.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sitaux can even go for fast ballistic behind that with the Malian's bonus. Oh, that's. I think this tower will be costly.
Oh man, I mean, you're right. He didn't want to. That's why he waited. Never wants to drop the tower because there will be disadvantages to that. But man, even the tower positioning, like I'm not sure I would have chose this position for the tower if I were him. Oh god, clearly wasn't planning for it. Sitaux just slaughtering him, and all the skirms are going to be dead.
I mean, looking at the tower position, you can feel he didn't want to place it at all. Like it was like, okay, let's put it there.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, now how do you come back from this?
Well, you kill the crossbows.
Yeah.
You hope that your villagers are cheap enough to reboom back into the game. That's actually it. That's my thinking. Is
Okay.
you play like your opponent doesn't have many crossbows. You bought the stone, you drop the second TC, maybe go monks for knights or some camels, and you just hope that with super cheap vills you have a chance. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't realize he lost 16 vills. I thought it was like 10, which is still really
No.
bad. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's not like he lost the vills, managed to clean up the armies, and have something to counterattack. No.
Yeah.
And he lost everything and still on defense.
Yep. This is also where the Hindustanis are really tricky for me. This is obviously a game where they're likely going to lose now, but like when you fall into this position and you can't make knights, you're always like, well, crap, I can't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Right? I can't like counterattack or anything. You're just stuck. But
And now he needs wood and gold to go for Elite Skirm, and he's having a lot of food. Like that's legit the worst position ever.
yeah, he's got it. I mean, I'm pretty sure Sobek knows he's most likely dead.
Yeah.
But this is the biggest moment in his career, I would say. And so he wants to ensure that he's not going to call this until he is actually dead. And he is actually killed off. But this also could boost, if you're in Sitaux's position, you might be a lot more confident, right? You're like, ooh, I get to feel like I'm dominating this guy for even longer in this game now. Probably feels good.
Yeah, it feels good, but I can understand Sobek at the same time. Like, if it was ladder game, Sobek would have type out for sure. But
Yeah.
in tournament games, you never know, right? Maybe your opponent did not manage his economy that well. Maybe he had a lot of idle TC to go up.
Yep.
You never know, right? So you want to fight until you are 100% sure you're dead.
Exactly. Yep. And that's probably what we're seeing here is he's soon 20 villagers behind. But this is what we expected from Sitaux today, right? Well-timed aggression, early castle age. This is the type of moment that we knew Sobek could struggle with. And Sitaux has won 3 straight. I mean, you know what I'm thinking about right now? Not even this game. That Islands game. That transport ship. That transport ship is still in my brain.
Yeah.
It's still there because it's like, if game 2 was a victory for Sobek, now suddenly it's 2-2 and it's not this big mountain to climb. But now it is 3-1 and Sitaux just needs 1 win from the next 3 to make it into Hidden Cup 5.
And I love how we spotted this transport ship details from the beginning. Like we saw it just passing and we were like, what if? And this what if is costing him a lot.
Yeah, Sobek is going to be seeing transport ships in his nightmares if he can't turn this one around. But we should also say, while it's looking good for Sitaux, that the loser of this best of 7 will still have a second chance on Sunday. All the players who play in these best of 7 deciders do have a second best of 7 against other players who lost the deciders. So it's not like it's not as brutal as we're making it seem. I think in some ways it might actually be, I was thinking, less stressful to play these best of 7s than maybe the best of 5s in the previous round, which just completely eliminates you with no second chance.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
I think if I managed to beat Mihai, I would be so relaxed for my set versus Winchester.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, that's fine. I have a second chance.
Yeah.
I can't get destroyed. It's okay.
And now you're a caster now, Margugu.
Yeah. I'm in.
I don't know about you, Margugu, but this Civ the Cumans, it's growing on me because anytime they're in a game, it's so unique. It's so fun. It's so different, right? So Sitaux, most likely, pretty much confirmed actually, is going to go fast feudal into a second TC, which the Cumans typically do. What do you do if you're Sobek? He's picked the Spanish here.
That's a tricky one, right? Because for me, when you play versus Kuman, you have a gamble part because you're like, okay, what's the best? Like going aggressive on them, either early feudal age, either early castle age. That's the idea.
Yep.
But then, if you go early feudal age and he's fully walled, you're like, oh crap. If you go like to drop a castle in his face with Spanish, for example, and then Sitaux decided to go full feudal age to deny you from doing this, then you're dead. But if you're doing it home while he's doing full feudal age, then you are in a good spot, right?
It's so tricky, yeah.
It's super tricky, yeah.
So
it's
I'll
super
tell you,
hard to decide.
I'll tell you what I would do, okay?
Okay.
And I think this may also remind people why I am not in a best of 7 decider. But what I would do, right? You're down 3-1.
Okay.
You need momentum. But also, you're Spanish. You got to have conquistadors. You got to have the castle on his face. You can't go anything defensive, right? You can't just go forward with Vils and no army. That's too risky. But I think you could go fast castle, conks, and go like 3 to 4 spearmen, and then bring everybody. Bring like 10 to 12 Vils, and you drop that castle forward. Now, the risk of what I just said, and the reason I would probably get 4-1s, and then the game would be over, is that it is very likely that Sitaux will see the fast castle time, because he'll see what time you're in feudal, and he will make feudal age army to stop it.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth bringing that up though, because maybe Sitaux won't make feudal age army to stop it. I don't know.
I think Classic Pro versus Sitaux was Kuman versus Portuguese, I believe.
It was, and he punished the Cumans.
Yeah, exactly. But because the Cumans didn't make any army.
Yes.
Because I actually think Classic Pro was in an insane position, because in this game, just so everybody's know, Sitaux went feudal age, like feudal age some archers to pressure a bit Classic Pro.
Yeah.
It didn't work too well, but I actually think that just going like for a super small feudal age, just give you the guarantee that the Cumans won't go EV on army to deny your castle, because he will think you're already in his face, he should have the economic advantage. I cannot risk to go full feudal now, because if I do so, and then the Portuguese just go boom, I'm dead. So I actually think maybe the best approach might be like one range. The thing it's Spanish, right?
Spanish. You don't want to make archers with
the
Spanish.
range don't scale too well, but let's say you go for a slight, maybe men at arms archer, and then you just go up fast, castle in the face.
Okay, interesting. So
maybe
here's another idea, right?
Okay.
Conquistadors are insane, right? Everyone knows that. They're nuts. Can you go for a castle that is like at home, maybe on the hill next to the goal or next to your base?
Yeah.
Can you do that and just use conks to dominate the game?
I think you might die to keep check.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then, but like, I agree. I think it's too risky to do that, but it is a thought that maybe just 4 or 5 conquistadors behind every wood line, around the stone, like they could do so much that maybe it's actually, in some ways, a safer option. And
but it's a tricky one.
Things to do, yeah.
Because let's say as a Spanish, you will play like Conk Siege, right?
Yeah.
Then as Cumans, you have like 20 Vils lead, but the Spanish has the control of the middle hill.
Yep.
You have your hills only, and then as Kumans, you have to find the right balance between going in to trap down the middle castle
Yep.
and not dying to Konk's Mangonel, which when you don't have redemption is not that easy.
Yeah, it's very tricky.
So it's
yeah.
a tricky run. I think if the Kumans play perfectly, Kumans wins,
Yes.
but it's gonna be super complicated for
Oh
Kumans
god,
to
this is gonna
play
be.
perfectly.
If Sitaux gets in here, this scout could be so annoying.
That's bad for Sobek.
That is really bad for Sobek. The Feudal Age Scout can wreak so much havoc and can kill the Scout from Sobek, and Sobek never pushed the Zebra. Oh, and you know Sitaux, like, Sitaux wants something to do because he's not going to have army. So he would love nothing more than to just micro this nonstop. Yeah, those Zebra will never get eaten now.
Oh, Sobek, you need to pay respect to this card. You need to go for Loom. If you go without Loom, it's gonna be a quick one. You don't need to think about Conquistador if you don't do Loom now.
Oh!
That's insane.
Oh, okay, well, that's not so good there for Sitaux.
Oh. Okay.
Well, no
Then
Loom
it's
is
good.
fine now.
Then, why it's super good for Sobek? Because Sitaux will be blind.
Yep. Yeah, and I
So-
think even if with a Feudal Age attack, you will not kill that scout.
No.
Honestly, I think Sobek is kind of a funny scenario. I think you should just try and push a Zebra and not chase that scout. And then Sitaux is going to come in and he's going to try. Yeah, Sitaux is going to try and block it. I guarantee you, dude. I guarantee
Like, when you
it.
propose to push the deer, in my mind, I could already imagine Sitaux like unmicroing this
Yeah.
to avoid this, and at the end you're just mad and you're like, oh, okay, let's take the deer with my vills.
Well, he's going to stone. I mean, it is good in some ways that Sitaux will get to see the base layout and like know eventually here that stone is being mined. But we knew this already. Everyone did, right? So I don't know if the scout being in here is going to be positive. But yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. And then he's going to wait till Sobek goes to attack him.
Oh, maybe he wants to take some more info before that.
He's being annoying. But okay, nice play from Sobek here.
I mean, that's Sitaux, right? He loves to being annoying in games.
Is he a annoying personality, Margugo, or you just gameplay?
Yeah. I mean, I did in games to not look too bad as a person, you know?
Yeah. The Zebra is actually helping Sobek a lot now. It's wait.
Are you sure it's an help? Wait.
Yeah, there we
Wait
go.
until he releases the last moment.
You know what
That's
is really what is amazing though is like if you're Sobek and you're gonna go for any like a barracks or anything to support yourself, maybe you build it outside your walls because Sitaux can't see it. And actually, even if the villagers were to leave the gate, let's say Sitaux sees the villagers leave, he doesn't know where the castle is gonna go or what's gonna happen, right? Sitaux will be guessing a lot here, I think.
I'm thinking, if I was in Vocal with Doubt now, talking about this game,
Okay.
I think there is a chance he would tell me, look, I put a lot on stone, I kill his scout, so Sitaux will think I go forward, and then I go 5 TC boom.
Oh. That sounds like a Doubt thing to do. And then he would get outboomed. He would get outboomed by the Kip checks and die.
Exactly.
Well, Doubt can't defend himself. I did ask him if he wanted to cast any of the Deciders. I never got a response, so he can't defend himself. But yeah, that is true. That's a big brain thing. Like, he's going to expect the castle. But you have to drop the castle, dude. You cannot not drop the castle. It has to happen. And Sitaux is not out of the barracks. He's simply going to wall. So
Yeah.
I think a forward castle could be devastating here.
But at the same time, it's that far that crossing all the map, and you have the wolf as well.
Well,
Like,
if you
even
run
if it's
through
not
the
a
middle,
big problem, right?
if you get Loom and you run through the middle, you might encounter 1 or 2 wolves.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Do
Actually,
you
that's
think-
another reason to add a barracks, because you could actually just round up the wolves with a spearman.
Do you think Sitaux hosted the lobby and put the difficulty of the AI in extreme, so
That-
the wolves will going aggro from like half the map?
That's fixed now. That's fixed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's funny you say that. So the difficulty, guys, of the AI choice would affect the range at which wolves would attack. And so, yeah, on a map like this, if you had it like extreme AI difficulty, even though you're playing a human, the wolves would attack from way further away. And that was a big thing. Like, I actually remember accidentally hosting, like hardest difficulty or something and playing Arabia and having wolves. Yeah, accidentally. Well, it depends. I wasn't playing Gold Rush, but yeah, you're right. That was definitely a factor in the past. But you don't need. You can stop selecting easy now for your lobbies, Margugu, because the wolves are not going to attack you anymore, depending on that.
Like, I remember once I hosted Extreme because I knew my opponent was going main at arm.
See? I wasn't kidding. Yeah. Yeah, so you wanted him to run into wolves. You little...
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the game.
And if I go main at arm, I host super easy difficulty.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Listen, I'm laughing at it, but dude, I did the same, dude. I did the same. I'm glad they fixed it. I did the same. I did the same. I can even tell you the series. I can even tell you.
I was like, should I tell T90 that I'm doing that? That's maybe bad as
It's
a player.
been fixed for a bit. It's been fixed for a bit. I think it hasn't been like that for a year, for like 2 years or something.
Okay.
So nice we just confessed that. Well, what we said was forward castle, right? This castle is a safe castle in order to complete the castle. And it's going to make conquistadors. But it is not on this crazy eco that Sitaux has. And Sitaux's got a 20 villager lead right now. And he is on stone. So he, in 2 minutes, immediately when he gets castle age, is going to build his own castle. But is he going to be able to place a good castle with all this aggression coming right now from Sobek?
Yeah. In this type of position, as a caster, I like to get into Sitaux's point of view.
Yep.
So everyone realize how complicated it will be for him to play this.
Yep.
Because it's like, oh, you have a castle on this big hill, you have conks, and you have feudal age in 1 minute 50, right? In 1 minute 15. So,
and you have to
it's tricky.
make sure that your castle defends your gold.
Yes.
Because you cannot, and so if your castle has to defend your gold, or your gold needs to be defended, I guess, then the other area could be exposed as well. But so far, the conks haven't actually gotten through, which is a positive. I think he needs to make sure that he is walled here and then maybe castles the other side. Oh, this is so tricky.
Okay, question. You are Sobek, you will break the houses. Do you commit under the TC or not?
Yes, every time.
Of course, I think
every single freaking time. I run right past. Yeah, especially if you see castle age. You run right past. You go right through. But now you go through. Now you go through. That's an invitation to go through, Margugu. If the castle's going up there, but he chooses not to. He doesn't want to lose those conquistadors. We should remind people that conquistadors are way more difficult to make because of the food cost, especially when you only have 38 villagers.
And you are all in, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was an underdog like Sobek versus Sitaux, and I am down 3-1, I would consider taking risk, right?
Yeah.
So I would go for it. But at the same time, it's like, let's say you dive, you lose everything, and you're like, well, my game is done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
And look at this city.
And this is why he didn't take the risk. Because the gold is not protected now. Sitaux dropped this TC a long time ago, but it takes so long to build it. This TC is not going up. And so you now need kip checks. Now, kip checks, I think, can be great against conks if you get a mass of them. If you get Bodkin Arrow, if you get Bloodlines, if you get Ballistics. But right now, these conquistadors are destroying.
And that's a disaster because Sitaux doesn't have any gold to mine.
Yeah.
The gold on the right is like under a Siege Workshop. I don't think you want to risk to put some vills on it. And then I think it's snowballing kinda because Sitaux gonna need to sell a lot of resources to get gold, which is like a disaster for your economy, right? So
yeah, agreed. I love, though, what we're seeing right now from Sobek, where he's building outposts, because I've seen games where players fail to do that, and then that gold could be taken. Or, even the other extreme, is what if Sobek, Sitaux, he's going to do it now. He did this in other games. I forget which one now, but he's trying to leave to build a sneaky TC on a gold right now. Yeah. That is his plan. I don't think he should place it on wood. It has to be on a gold, and he just has to hope. If he can get gold, he has kip checks, he has more villagers, he could still be okay here.
Yeah, I think he might be okay, but, well, he needs some luck, right? Because look at the monks of Sobek.
Yep.
Moving to the right.
Yep. Well, Sobek might be thinking about this too. Like, what would my opponent do? What would I do in his position is what you need to think about.
Yeah.
And Kipcheks just shred that monk. And now, there go the villagers. And Sitaux is going to build a TC on this gold. This is so smart from Sitaux to do this, dude.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And it's recognition that one castle in the middle does not protect the whole map, right?
Exactly.
Where's he? Is he going to go to the
for
hill?
The middle hill?
Dude, okay. Look at what Sobek is scouting. Sobek is looking on the side golds because that's where reasonable people, that is where normal people go. He's going to go to the hill. What?
I mean, maybe the best place to hide is in front of the nose of your enemy.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe not.
No, it's
Maybe
not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. This gets found. Oh, Sitaux. I mean, if he would have started building the other one, it would have been up by now, maybe. And oh, what a find for Sobek. This is huge. Man. That's so
Why do you
funny.
go for this TC though? I mean, it's funny, but like you are playing a tournament, you're like, let's go for the TikTok short.
Let's go for the most difficult TC. I mean, if you get that hill, it can be a really nice position in the long run.
Yes.
I just don't think that in this type of scenario with the humans, that the hill matters as much as just getting gold. But he did complete the other TC in the meantime. Like, he's back on gold. So I have people saying this is a decoy. This is a fake. Because now the Conquistadors have had to go chase this. And now the Conquistadors aren't pushing Sitaux's economy at all. I mean, that's a good point, Margugu. These villagers and these Kipcheks are actually distracting Sobek so much that Sitaux might be completely fine.
He might be fine, but he doesn't have that big of an advantage on the economy, actually.
That's true.
Like, Sobek is catching up because I think he did a really nice job, Sobek, of managing this economy, actually.
Yep.
Adding some TCs at the right moment.
Yeah, that was really good. It's like right when he found damage, he knew that he needed to catch up with the villagers. He does kill the Kipcheks there, and he should be able to kill these villagers as well. I know this is a really bad time to say this, but I actually really like Kipcheks against Kongs because they're so cheap, they're so mobile, and once Ballistics is in, you know, Conquistadors don't get that. They could be pretty solid, but there we just saw the problem is Sitaux does not have the numbers, and he didn't have Bloodlines, and that is the most important unit in the game to get Bloodlines on, the Kipchek, because you have 40 HP. It takes it up to 60 then, which is a massive increase once you get Bloodlines. Yeah,
and if he gets Ballistic, he might win versus Kongs potentially.
Yeah.
Before that,
But there are quite a few Conquistadors, I have to say, and such a great job from Sobek. And Sobek is going to find these Kipcheks again, and it just feels like Sitaux maybe needs to give up on Castle Age and head towards Imp now, right? Think about Imp, maybe idle TCs, stop producing Vills, and make Trebs to push that castle down, because Castle Age is not going to work for him.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this situation, right? Kongs, Mangonels, Sitaux will have like a 20 Vills lead. Actually, it's only 10 Vills.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be super hard for him to win this now because he will need to be on point, super on point, and maybe actually this little push on the top on the left of the Sobek's base can be not deadly, but can distract Sobek enough to buy time for Sitaux.
Well, you know, think about how you play it, right? Sobek is create villagers, create army, keep going, create villagers, create army, repeat, and Sitaux. He defends with his Mangonel. He's on his way to the Imperial Age. He will have Trebs soon. Trebs cannot be killed by Sobek. Trebs would take the castle. Sobek's got villagers in the middle. And yeah, I absolutely think, like with this eco, the resources collected still 2,000 more for Sobek. For Sitaux. I definitely think that Trebs can give Sitaux a lot of time to get into some different options. It'd be amazing here. And this attack is done amazing. Who would have thought that the Forward Siege Workshop would have actually done something here?
This decoy was good.
The decoy was actually
amazing. That was not that much of a decoy, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the ideal is you get the TC up and also you do this.
Yes, that's for sure. Yeah. Oh, and look at Sobek's second castle. I think Sobek is reading the game pretty well. He realized that he needs to keep this hill as long as possible.
Yep. I love that move, and he's stopped producing villagers for the most part. We will probably see him sell wood to get some additional gold. And oh my god, that castle from Sitaux, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's risky, but that's a nice one, actually.
That's a really nice one. Okay, here's another thing, though. What if you build your next castle to the right, near your other castle? It protects that gold, and then you have both your castles together for Trebs.
Yeah, I think like doing this is a bit useless if you are like Sobek. Like you just like even if you put the castle like at home on the central hill, at the end it makes the same, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about like for Sitaux, right? Like if Sitaux made his castle where his line of houses is, then he has protection for his Trebs. Because it'll be awkward for him to treb from both sides now. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Is it a mistake to go imp for Sobek?
No,
no, I think it's a good. Maybe he could go for masonry actually. That could be a really nice text to have.
Dude, Sitaux just ran out of gold when he completed that castle. Perfect timing. Those 10 villagers are so critical right now. Yeah, do you continue with conquistadors here, or do you switch into knights if you're Sobek?
Well, the question is, do you have eco for knights?
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually.
Well, the way I see it is eco for conquistadors is eco for knights.
Yeah,
because
maybe you go skirm first. Yeah, and I think he wants to go skirm.
Oh yeah, he does, but he's gonna find out that where he wants to build this is kind of a problem. Man, Sitaux has done such a good job being annoying. It's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's like skirms into knights for Sobek.
Yeah.
That's this kind of game.
Well, nice damage there from Sitaux. Killed 10 villagers in this game. Nice attack ground there as well. Yeah. Big shots. Bloodline's just now coming in for Sobek. You could see now, like, the kip checks with their mobility, you get enough of them.
Yeah.
This is before ballistics. They could be really good, and chemistry also affects them.
But Sobek needs to keep his conks alive, so he can deal with the first cavalry of Sitaux potentially.
Did he go imp on the forward TC? Did he go imp on the forward TC? What happened here? Hold on.
Oh, no.
He was going imp in the forward TC, and he canceled it at 50% because he was going to lose it. Sobek, no. Oh, and at live time, he did realize. So he is imping still, but that is so painful to be delayed to imp by that long.
Oh, yeah, that's costly.
Still has a good chance in the game. But now he's 2 minutes from imp, and he's investing more and more stone into repairing these castles. The first 2 castles on the front definitely go down now, 100%.
Yeah, I think before this, I preferred Sobek position.
Yeah.
Now, Sitaux's position is way better.
Oh,
the timing is insane.
And that's just kind of unlucky, right? It is something you have to think about, though.
Yeah.
And he just, I guess he had 3 TCs, and when he went to his TCs to click imp, it just ended up being on the worst one and at the worst time for Sobek, because if he loses this, he will lose this series. Still killing.
He's still holding the castle though.
Yeah, yeah. And still killing a lot of villagers. Like, Sitaux is not protecting his eco right now. And the conquistadors are still killing quite a bit here.
And look at Sitaux's economy. 72 on wood, 26 on food only.
Yep.
It's not like Sitaux is close from a Hussar spam or Cavalier switch, right?
Yep, absolutely. He's all in. And he doesn't have much on gold. He only has those 9 villagers on gold. He doesn't have any relics. And Sobek, maybe he won't lose all these castles. He's going to lose 1, right? But he has really bought himself a lot of time with the repairs. Very well played.
Yeah. No, I think Sobek's still in this game for sure, but actually, yeah, he has 40 vills less than Sitaux though, so...
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, it's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Obviously, losing the forward TC was not only imp, but that was a town center he had to produce vills. So he only had 1 TC producing vills, because he's got 2 TCs at home now. They're back to both producing now that imp is in. And Trebs would make a whole lot of sense here for Sobek. I like the chemistry choice. Chemistry for bombard cannons is huge here.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's
and he already have the siege workshop next to his castle, so if he managed to keep the castle on the front alive, that could be huge for him.
More villagers coming out to gold here from Sitaux. He's done a really nice job over the last few moments, expanding his eco a bit. His food count's gone up. He's going to drop archer ranges to make some skirms. Now, skirms are pretty weak with the humans, but skirms still can be good against conks. But
wait, the mangonel from Sobek, Who might kill a trap. Oh, but the castle fall, okay.
Yeah, castle's gonna fall. But maybe. Does Sitaux realize it's gonna fall? Castle does fall. Okay. And yeah, Treb's going down. I don't know if I'm behind you. I think I might be a little bit behind you, Margugu.
Okay, I can pause a bit.
No. You're fine. I'm
Oh.
just catching up to it. I realized when you said,
Okay.
when you saw the future like that.
I think it's like I went back a bit to see the empty getting
Ah,
denied.
yeah. That was probably where we
Yeah.
lost sync. Well, Sobek has that middle area, and Sobek can make trebs from it. But he's making... Oh, man, we've all been there, right? He's making a bombard cannon on the front where he had the position, and if he can't get that cannon safe, it could be a big loss for him. He really needs some cannon fire right now. As he again defends... How on earth is Sitaux? Found so much counter damage in this game. He's so annoying.
Yeah, he found 30 kills. That's huge. But I think it's when he lost all his skipjack, he managed to kill a lot of lumberjacks and a lot of coal miners too.
Yep.
That was well played by him.
Bombard cannon does survive here for Sobek. Oh, man. What a fight this is. But
That's
Sobek's
huge.
Conquistador is actually sitting underneath the tower. These Conquistadors have killed 20 villagers, and Sitaux just refuses to defend. Like, Sitaux is always attacking, but now his gold's exposed towards the middle, and he doesn't have a real way to push. Spanish skirmishers are superior, so he's got the better skirmishers, plus the Conquistadors, plus the bombard cannons. I think I prefer Sobek's position again.
Yeah, and the conks on the south. I think Sitaux didn't realize yet.
Yeah.
Because he didn't react, but it's like 30 kills for this count?
Yeah.
Okay, no, Sitaux realized.
Sitau's going to run away, but the army count, the army type here for the Spanish, much stronger. And how many times have we said this with the humans? It's like they get an eco lead, but they really struggle when they run out of gold. And also just lacking bracer is such an issue for them.
Yeah, they do not have the best late game at all. Their late game is pretty weak, actually.
Yep.
While Spanish late game with gold, you have like bombard tower, bombard cannons, like you have paladin, you have everything, actually.
Yep. And the gold that Sitaux is taking is right here on our screens. I think Sitaux should plan for life without gold, hope that he can find an answer to those skirms, and that's what he's doing. He's going to go for light cav, but he doesn't have a single blacksmith upgrade for his cav right now. That is going to be a lot of gold, a lot of time investment to get there. And credit to Sobek. Like, I would have been tilted out of my mind if I saw that my MTC was on the front.
Oh,
And I
and the
would've
conks
been
on the bottom
so
are still
worried.
doing a massacre. Oh, God.
Yeah, and maybe they'll eventually be killed, but the Pierce armor is pretty insane on those. Those kip checks are not doing too much. Sitaux losing his mining camp. Sitaux could lose his trap soon. Sitau's losing fights. The series is not over yet. For Sobek, there is hope.
Sobek is in a better spot now because, like, as you said, no upgrade on the cavalry. Like, what's your next move if you are Sitaux?
Yep.
Now Sitaux is the one that needs to buy time, but buy time for the Kuman's late game doesn't look so pretty for me.
Yep. And his Trebs can't push. His Trebs will just be playing defense. And even if you do that, the bomber cannons can find pretty nice kills. Skirm numbers decent. I think the way back into this game, and it might be too late, but the way back into this game for Sitaux is you raid the main eco. That opening in Sobek's eco could be so exposed if light cav ran through. So I think trying to get some light cav into Sobek's main eco, because Sobek has the castles in the middle right now, could maybe distract him, kill some vills, and give him a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe the skirm transition was a mistake actually, because he was like thinking, okay, I need to go skirm to counter conks and to counter the Spanish skirms, but at the end you are just fighting with less upgrade on your skirm because of your civilization. So maybe just going for the kill, for the raid was the key.
I really like sticking with Conquistadors too if you're Sobek, because you don't have to go through that long period of time to tech switch. Sure, eventually, like, going Knights is great, but how many times have we seen players try and switch into it too early, and it's too difficult? You have Conquistadors, you have upgrades, you have the castles, you don't need any more trebs. You just continue to produce conks with the skirms, and this composition is so difficult for Sitaux to engage into. It is like, you gotta hope that you just have the numbers, and that you can get this all before your trebs, before your castle falls. Big fight coming, Margugu. Hussar on the way for Sitaux. This could be crazy. Oh, man.
But I think there is 2 castles on the hill though for Sobek. That's huge.
Yeah. And as well, it's like, the Hussars are going to be here for the skirms, but the conks can sit behind the skirms and kill those Hussars pretty quickly. Sobek will fall back. He will lose his castle. The Hussar upgrade is in for Sitaux. Can he hold on to gold here on Gold Rush, or will he be completely pushed off of it? It looks like the fight is pretty good initially here for Sitaux, but again, the same thing remains. There's still bombard cannons there, and he still does not have a lot of gold.
Oh, yeah. He didn't kill the bombard cannons. I didn't saw that. I thought he killed everything, every siege, but actually, like, the push isn't over for Sobek because he still has this bombard cannon.
I'm telling you,
alive,
though,
so,
like,
oh.
if at any point your opponent's not pushing you with siege, send some Hussars into their eco, right?
Yeah,
Sobek
of
is
course.
so exposed. Like, 3 or 4 Hussars there would completely distract him. I think Sitaux could
It's a
still
big
do
mistake
this
for Sitaux.
if he raids. He has to raid right now.
He's going for it, I think.
Oh,
And
man,
he will
he saw the
find a
castle.
nice castle on the way, yeah.
Oh, no way! That's an
Spanish
amazing
builds, though.
find.
I think he's getting it up, I think.
Yeah, Spanish builders. Castle will go up, but where will the Hussars go next is my question. They should be clicked directly into the eco. And there they
Time
go.
to panic wall for Sobek.
Okay, panic wall time. Quick walls. Here we go. Good stuff. There's got to be a hole, though. There's got to be a hole,
the
and then you're
right.
going to be distracted in the middle.
Oh, he's going for it. Market wall? I think it's open, no?
No. It's not.
Okay, it's not.
But even if the Hussars just attack a house or something, they're going to be through pretty soon, right?
At one point, they will manage to go through. But at the same time, Sobek is pushing back. He's killing all the trebs.
Yeah.
He's not elite conks yet, but should be for soon, I hope.
Yeah, kept most of his one of his bomber cannons alive. Sitaux only has 1 treb. Sitaux trying to break through again, and again Sobek realizes. And Sobek, he just needs to take this freaking castle, man. If he can take this castle down from Sitaux, he wins this game. All that eco back there is so exposed. The Conquistadors will kill it all. What a fight here for Sitaux. And what a hold from Sobek, he's not giving up, man. He has so much belief. I love this.
Oh, he's still walling behind the Hussar. That's good.
So sick.
But maybe Sobek should step back a little bit on the middle, right? Just make sure he's stabilized everywhere and then going for a big push on this castle. I don't know.
Well, it's tricky. I think if you step back at all, Sitaux will find a way to kill you. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's so difficult. These villagers here, though, if these villagers can be pulled to the middle near the castles, that would be much better for them.
Yeah.
Conquistador numbers still solid enough for Sobek, but it was at 30 before. It's at 18 now. And it's 71 on food right now for Sitaux.
Maybe Sobek needs to go for a conk trade in the farm Zico, actually.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, so sorry I'm not muting here, Margugu, but I think we might have had like a bug on my end, or Twitch is bugged.
Oh,
not
really?
Sure. That? Yeah. I think we're fine. It says I have 16 viewers right now, which is quite a drop.
Oh, it says I have 1 viewer. Yes. Yes, I have a drop as well.
Okay, all right, it's fine. I think all of streams are bugged, and the Hussars are in. We only have 17 people watching this series. What are people doing with their lives? This game's amazing. Sitaux's population is climbing, and he got through. And this is what we said, right? Just a distraction could make life so awkward for Sobek, and then his conquistadors would have to be at home instead of in the middle.
Actually, I have 1 viewer, but this viewer is plural person, I guess. A lot of people are talking, so you know.
Okay, I got it. Well,
so it's fine.
Yeah, well, I just love that Sitaux. Oh, I went up to 17. We're really growing the stream here. I love that Sitaux has those Hussars ready to go again in the north. That's his way back, dude. And look in the south now. Sitaux's going to win this game. He's found a way to hold, and every once in a while, he has a group of Hussars to go in for the bomber cannons, and Sobek's got to pull all the way back. Oh, man, we have all been unraveled by raids like this, and the humans this is their specialty.
That's so annoying. Yeah. That's why maybe Sobek needs to go back a bit. He needs to stabilize at home, but that's a tricky one, right? Because
it's incredibly tricky. And you don't need Hussars to continue this spam, right? There's a unique tech I don't think that Sitaux got, which means his stables produce faster. He definitely doesn't have step husbandry, but if he got that, this could be incredible. And Sitaux has found the kills he wanted. He still has untouched food and wood eco. He says, who needs your gold? And again, the bomber cannon's exposed. More Hussars go in. Just feels like this is going to be never-ending now for Sobek. He's defending well, but it's just a nightmare to try and stop this.
Sobek could stonewall a bit maybe on the side, like close some gaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be useful.
If he had like 1200
Ah.
stone, I'd just say castle at home and you're fine. But I don't think he's fine. He doesn't have the stone. And there's just hussars everywhere, and he's falling apart.
And your red is coming in the main base on the left as well.
Look at Sitaux. He splits it up. I love that. Like, he already has so many other groups. To split up that group right there, really good stuff. Really shows him using that speed right now. Sitaux has killed almost 100 villagers now, Margugu. And he still has not lost his freaking castle towards the middle. Unbelievable.
Non-stop sniping the siege on the middle. And then Sobek cannot push anymore and needs to deal with the raid at the same times. And that's a nightmare for Sobek.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the bombard cannon. Oh, no.
Oh, the hussars find the perfect position. And I'm sure Sobek already realized this was going to be brutal a couple moments ago. And now he's pop 140. He still has hussars in his base. And yes, his conk number is high. But there's not a lot to really stop Sitaux from sending in more waves. Sitaux basically said, if you don't have enough to force my hand and force me to fight every single second in the middle, I will just go directly to your base. And it's just like something we've seen so many times. Sometimes the best way to win the main fight is to go somewhere else. This is just so perfect from Sitaux. He's even ramming here. He even brought in a ram from the Siege Workshop for the TC.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
I mean, the thing is, Sitaux raided way too well Sobek, and at the end, Sobek didn't find any time to transition into Cavalier and to hold this.
And the series ends. Sitaux, the favorite, won 4 straight after losing the first game. As Sobek gives him the GG, the good luck, and of course wishes him luck in Hidden Cup. Sitaux will be one of the hidden players in the main event, and he was expected to be one of them, Margugu, because of how good he is. We saw him on all different settings. We saw him on more closed maps. We saw him on more open maps, and obviously there were still some games left to play here if this was more competitive. He's got to be pumped. He lost it Hidden Cup 4 qualifier. He didn't make it into NAC. Was so close to making it, but failed. This is a big one for Sitaux in his career. And I'm sure you and all people from France are going to be so pumped for him right now.
Yes, for sure. We are happy to have... I think that's the first French in history in Hidden Cup.
First French in Hidden Cup? Let me think. Yes, I believe so.
I mean, the only good players from France was Eddie, maybe? And he was not close from that level.
Yeah. That was a different era.
Yeah.
That was a different era. Yeah, first Frenchman to join Hidden Cup. Also could be the second, maybe, because Babo Rum's still out there. So,
and maybe the third with Marugu.
Well, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. In 4 years or before that?
No. We'll see about that. But hey, you'll be casting, so technically you've been invited.
Yeah, no, I'm actually super happy to be a caster. Actually, thank you so much for this opportunity. That's super nice for me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I had so much fun. We had like the hotkey issues. We had some lag. We had we had some weird things happen in this series, and obviously our Twitch is trolling both of us right now.
Is it back? Not yet.
For me, I have 17 viewers. I don't know about you.
I have one, still one.
But listen,
I am with my guy.
You and your friend. I hope you enjoyed it on your stream. And listen.
Hello, Mom. How are you?
It was a fantastic time, and I cannot wait to bring you in. Now, I will say, now that Sitaux is in, you said earlier in the cast that you believe that you will guess Sitaux in the first game. That's what you said.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to have you casting with me for every series, but after the first round, I will come to you and I will say, tell me who Sitaux is now. Okay?
Okay.
And I want to hear all your theorizing and everything.
Oh, I will theorize a lot. I love to be like the one guessing the players and things like that. So
yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun for everyone, and I'm pretty sure a lot of viewers are ready for it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
As always, it's going to be insane.
All right, Margugu, thank you very much, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye, everyone.